If you wanna get with me, there's some things you gotta know. I like my beats fast and my bass down low. Bass down low. Bass down low. I like my beats fast and my bass down low. Bass down low. Bass down low. I like my beats fast and my bass down low. It's like 1, 2, 3, yeah. I'm about to take this drink and just stuff it. This tank is staying along with 4 more shots of Patron. I give a fuck about going home. Straight buzzing, robo-tussing. Wanna get your mitts in my oven. Wanna get a lick of this lovin'. Get a lick of this lovin'.
Yeah, I like it loud, and I'll make you shout. Give you that black eyed peas, you know that boom boom pow.
If you wanna get with me, there's some things you gotta know. I like my beats fast and my bass down low. Bass down low. Bass down low. I like my beats fast and my bass down low. Drop it to the face down low. Bass down low. I like my beats fast and my bass down low. Bass down low. Bass down low. I like my beats fast and my bass down low. It's like 1, 2, 3. Okay, can I get a little goose in my OJ? Earth Day feel like my birthday, and we sip champagne when we thirsty. Quit frontin', why your husband tryna get his mitts in my oven? Wanna get a lick of this lovin'? Get a lick of this lovin'.
Yeah, I like it loud, and I'll make you shout. Give you that black eyed peas, you know that boom boom pow.
If you wanna get with me, there's some things you gotta know. I like my beats fast and my bass down low. Bass down low. Bass down low. I like my beats fast and my bass down low. Drop it to the face down low. Bass down low. I like my beats fast and my bass down low. Bass down low. Bass down low. I like my beats fast and my bass down low. I got a question for you. Do you like it when I flow? I got a question for you. Ooh, ooh. Do you like it when I flow? With my bass down low. Like la 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 If you wanna get with me, there's some things you gotta know. Drop it to the face down low. Bass down low. I like my beats fast and my bass down low. Bass down low. Bass down low. I like my beats fast and my bass down low.
Passionate intensity. It's a complicated fusion. We are catapulted towards death. The mystique I adore is the beating heart of those who share my life. This is their legacy, in obscene glances, laced in silver.
Connected right now. Oh my gosh. Guys, we've just been talking and I think we were muted. Maybe it came unplugged for a sec. I don't know how that's possible. I was just complimenting Zach on his MacBook. I'm sorry if you just thought that we weren't talking because it was. I really wonder now if we were muted for that
whole time.
Yeah, sorry guys. If so, I apologize. I'm glad that you're still listening. If you are listening live, in fact, if you are listening live, if you're in chat, you should chat with us and ask questions or comments or send us links, whatever, and we'll talk about it and we'll definitely give you shout outs. Also, what else was I going to say? Chat with us. Let us know if you're listening because I think it's badass. It's hard because when it's live, I can't tell who's listening unless you're chatting with us. And most people don't chat. Apollo just entered the room. My notorious dog for fucking up all my podcasts, huh? No, tonight's podcast is going to be really cool. I'm always excited to have Zach Feston on the show. And tonight we have a guest. Well, 2 lovely guests. 3 including Apollo. Or I guess 4. But we are 4 shots in.
4 shots.
Well, are we 4? I think we are 4. 4 into SoCo. We finished the bottle. It is dry. It is empty. Apparently today is National Wine Drinking Day, or like, I know, right?
How did I not know?
Well, why don't they ever announce this? Like, you would think we would know, because then we would definitely go out of our way to drink wine.
I would watch media.
Yeah, exactly. If they let people know.
There's
There's coupons for.
Okay.
Liquor. Are there ever coupons for liquor? Now that I think about it.
Dude, no. Oh,
I've never.
I saw some out of state. Never in Utah.
Yeah, never in Utah. There may be some out of
They
state.
want every dollar. They want every dollar.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, let me hurry and do these sponsors, and then we'll get chatting. Quickly, we'll do 3. First one is Your Tea. Go to yourtea.com. Check it out. Malibu's over here shaking her fist at Zach. I don't know what that means, but get some Your Tea. Yeah, no, it's some good stuff, dude. I have to highly, highly recommend them stuff. I'm drinking Man Tea. They have Man Tea. They have Tiny Tea. They have, I think it's Her Tea. I don't know what the difference between Tiny Tea and Her Tea is because I can imagine most women would want the Tiny Tea over Her Tea. But maybe, let me find out really quick.
Maybe something to do with menstrual.
They have a fertility tea.
They have a fertility tea, which I don't know why they didn't just call it fertility.
That would be so awesome. I thought about that too.
Sorry, let me hurry and get this. yourtea.com. Oh, I spelled that wrong. There we go. Okay, so Her Tea is obviously sold out. Classic. It's an extremely delicious blend of perfect. Perfect for the females to consume on a daily basis. Is designed to balance out every day alignment and of the female body, and to throw off such a bloating, mood swings. Jesus, I need to buy this stuff. Does that say cracky skin or cranky? It says cranky skin. Is there such a thing as cranky skin?
I felt like maybe my skin was cranky.
You just get so mad that your skin just decides it's fucking cranky too.
Like blemishes.
It could, maybe.
Like my skin is cranky. I need to cover up these blemishes.
It could be, yeah.
That makes more.
Yeah.
sense.
So, anyways, apparently it's cool stuff. Tiny Tea, Mikkel loves it. I bought her some for Valentine's, and they've always got good deals. I mean, I don't know. Google for promo codes. They'll always give out a good promo code. You can get it for pretty cheap. But this shit works. I drink my Man Tea. I have to drink twice a day, and she drinks hers 3 times a day before a meal. 30 minutes before a meal. Mine gets rid of excess body water, which you've got veins, which I would love to have. It just shows muscle. I don't know. It just looks badass. It's cool for people to shoot up heroin or something. But no, it just gets rid of excess body water, which a lot of the time, especially for people who drink liquor, like myself, your body holds a lot more water because it knows you're just going to fucking drink. And so it's just going to hold on to that water. So when you are hungover and you're dehydrated, that it will use that excess water from your skin. But my body likes to store, then it teaches the body to store water instead of flushing it out. So it's like bloated, if that makes sense. I don't know. Anyways, but it apparently gets rid of that, and it does a lot of other stuff. It's good for muscle, lean muscle, stuff like that. And her stuff is mainly getting rid of bloatiness and other things. I always wonder if they're still the same, though. Like if Her Tea, and they just put on different, same tea, it's just they package them different.
Might just have different effects.
They could.
Seems
like
they
it
said
helps.
that the women can drink the Man Tea.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's so like for women who want to build lean muscle, lose water weight, or whatever it is. because there are those girls. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not attracted to any of them. I mean, yes, I'm married, but you can still look at another person and say, hey, you're attractive or not. I don't like women at all who are the big bodybuilders. And it's not the fact that I'm the type of guy that really is, wants, not dominant. I don't know how you explain it, but that I just, I don't know. I don't look at another woman and feel like that's sexy. It's like, stop. Just stop.
She can throw
Like,
me
I
around.
think a sexy is like a flat stomach or whatever, and you wear a bikini and you look good, but you look normal.
Tone.
Yeah, tone.
Fit,
Yeah.
cut.
But not to the point where you have muscles and I think a six-pack on a girl is, ugh.
I completely agree. I'm so glad to hear men say this.
Yeah.
See, I'm different. I love a six-pack.
Oh, really? See, okay, so...
I love a
see?
fit girl, but at the same time, I don't like somebody that's muscular. You
Sure.
know, I don't want a girl to flex her biceps and be bigger than I am. But
Yeah,
anyways.
And there are women out there, and I just hate people that, and maybe it's just that it's not my hobby, but that are all fitness 24/7, 365. Their Instagram pictures are this shake and popping bottles, but it's a shaker. What's it called? Those protein shakers. And it's just, I mean, just fucking do your life, and if you want to be fit and you have that body, that's great. But then again, that's their hobby and that's their thing, and I post stuff that's my hobby, my thing, so I can't bash on it. But girls, apparently there's guys who like it, so I guess don't stop. If that's your thing, go for it.
Healthy.
If not, get
Healthy
tiny.
is sexy.
There you go.
Healthy
Yeah,
is
just be
sexy.
healthy, but really be happy. If you can be confident and happy, that's the sexiest thing, I think, is that you can go around a guy's friend and be like, hey, what's up? And not be uncomfortable, not be weird. Just like Malibu. I'm here, I'm talking, I'm normal. Whereas in other girls that you'll meet and people, especially poor guys who are dating right now, it's hard to find women.
Oh, yeah.
You have
good
no
women.
idea.
Yeah, see, a single man here can testify. I'm glad I got one, and that's what I'm saying, man. People need to stop messing around and playing stupid. It's just like, if you find one, I mean, don't stay with the stupid situation where you're getting fucked over every day and she makes you feel bad and whatever, and she's cheating on you. Don't stay with it. But if you find a good girl, catch her, stay with her, and be happy, and just realize, have fun. That's how I am. I don't know.
Yeah.
Love her,
Anyways,
love
yourtea.com. Go to Your Tea. I'm sure they love that. And also, Cover It in Vinyl. Go to coveritinvinyl.com. We have tons of funny stickers, cool stickers, decoration stickers, whatever stickers. We've got stickers. Use the promotion code podcast, 20% off of any and all orders over, I think it's $4, $5. How much? $10. You spend $10, you get 20% off. But it's worth it. And they're kick-ass stickers, guys. Next thing. Wait, did you do your nails? Or did you? But you got your stickers.
I did. I'm
Hell
so
yeah.
happy.
Cool.
Thank
Good.
You.
No, they're awesome. You have a smart man here.
Yeah.
Another thing is, what's our last one? Salt City Float Spa. If you haven't ever done have you ever done sensory deprivation? I'm surprised you, of all people, have
I
not.
know. And
You've got
especially
experience
after
to
hearing
do.
about it, yeah.
What is
I
this?
want to.
Sensory what?
It's called sensory deprivation. It's it's like, well, it's also known as floating or a float tank. There's a lot of names for it, but really it's a giant, they can range. They all look different, but you hop in this thing, it's pitch black. It can be pitch black. If people are claustrophobic, apparently you can turn on light, and apparently it's actually good for women to have the light on when they do it. But for men, it works better with the light off. I love it with the light off because you feel out of this world. You don't feel like you're in the world. And anyways, the whole point of it is you sit in this thing that has like 1,200 pounds of Epsom salt, and it's like a mini jacuzzi. Like the water's this deep. You hop in this. Let me pull up a picture really quick because it's hard to describe without you seeing it.
This is
Deprivation tank. Here we go. Okay.
as you're saying it, I'm thinking of that movie
Altered States.
where they bend the bullets.
Oh, what is that? Wanted?
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
they
Angelina
sit,
Jolie?
they sit in those tubs where they like cover
Oh,
themselves with
okay.
wax,
It's similar
wax
to
and
that.
it
I mean,
rejuvenates
okay.
you.
So the one I do is it looks similar to this. This is what it is. And you hop in this pod, and you float. You just sit in this thing and you float for hours. But it's great for your skin. It's great for your body. It's great for it puts you in REM. Like your body realizes, oh, I'm in zero gravity. I'm in REM sleep. I'm in perfect sleep, which is like, apparently, I don't know. We had the owners on the other day, and they were saying that like the body only gets, on average for us younger people, like an hour and 50 minutes or an hour and a half of REM sleep, which is like the recharge station sleep.
Yeah.
The best sleep for you. Like, it helps you lose weight, it makes you happier, whatever. Like, that's what you need. And then they're finding and doing more studies that older people are dying because of less sleep, less REM sleep, because their bodies aren't recharging, they aren't doing that crap. It's from the pills, it's from who knows what, and they're just not in that good sleep. So it's way beneficial, especially for old people, but also young people, like, to keep your mind up on top. It would get you in that creativity, because REM and then I think it's theta or alpha. Certain type of sleep or whatever is like really creative for you. So like if you're a writer, if you're whatever, if you get into this and you get out, there's more serotonin, more dopamine, more things for creativity towards. It's crazy. And you sit in there for I go for 90 minutes, but I always suggest going for an hour, maybe your first time, because it's a little different. It's weird, but it's so cool.
Is this something they have just?
They have it
numerous places throughout Salt Lake.
Utah, yeah, no. There's only 2 places in Utah, but really 1 place in Utah, and that's Salt City Float Spa. Yeah, and we had the owners on the other day, and they said that any of our listeners who want to go try it out for an hour, it's $40, which is better than what they offer their first time people. So if you say, "Hey, I heard about this on the podcast, I want to do it," they're like, "Okay, sweet, $40, try it out," and you have to try it out. To be honest, I'd suggest doing a 3 pass, because it's like, if you think about it, it's $40 to go tan for a month or whatever, which is still good, but like the benefits you get out of this, you sleep so good too. And that week after, it's like, have you ever taken Xanax or an anxiety type pill? Dude, that's what you feel like when you get out, man. You don't care. Like, stress, your worries, your crap,
like
you're gone, you're fighting, your girls.
Higher vibration.
Dude, you don't care. I don't know how to explain it, dude. It's the most beneficial thing I've ever done, though. And I need to go more and more. The more you go, the cooler experiences you have. You also seek in like hallucinations sometimes, because you're in a pitch black thing where your eyes are like, okay, what the fuck's going on? It's trying to find stuff. The water temperature is the same temperature as your body, and then there's vapor or like air temperature is the same temperature as your body. So it's almost like an out-of-body experience, because your body can't tell it's in the body. And then your ears are plugged. You're not seeing anything. You're losing sense.
Yeah, that's what it's called, the sensory.
Yeah, dude.
Because it kind of shuts everything down.
Exactly.
Makes your mind.
And your mind realizes, I'm a mind, not Christian or not Zach. Like, I'm a brain.
Kind of takes you out of the physical.
Dude, it's cool. Like, I feel like it's usually about half an hour through. Like, I'm doing flips. But it doesn't, like, make you sick. It's like just a... And you don't know where's left, right, up, down. You're, like, in space. I don't know. Everyone's different. I don't want to hype it up, but there's so many benefits, even for your first time. But if you go a first time, you have to go a second time, because that was the best float I've ever had. Is my second time. That's all I've done. I've only done 2, but dude, they're life changing. Like, they can be really life changing if you were to go a lot. I can tell. Yeah. And I just need to do it. But they're I think it's $133 for 3 times, which I highly suggest throwing down, because you're gonna blow that on a computer, a phone, some shit, a case, a book, I mean, whatever. But like, this can really change. It's like biohacking your body to be happier, to be better, to be cool, to, I don't know, whoever. And then you can go a couple too, but you don't go in the same one. You can just, like, they have couples deals or whatever.
Is there a rate that, like, you can't go too many times? Or
no. You can go as much as you wanted. And stuff like that, yeah. You can go as much as you want, dude. And there's a really good documentary on this for anyone listening or yourself. It's on Vice on YouTube. If you go to Vice, I'll throw I'll throw the thing up really quick on chat for anyone listening. Just type in sensory deprivation tank. Joe Rogan owns one of these in his house. It's like he built one into his house, and his is badass. His is more like a wall. Like, it's not just a tube. This is the documentary, and it's a 3-part series, and it goes way more in depth. Way more in depth. Casey's listening. What up, Casey? Here we go. That's the link. Maybe he'll post. What? Our thing's been weird about posting. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Hold on, quick. Simpsons episode with Lisa Simpson. Oh.
What?
He said the Simpsons episode with Lisa Simpson and Homer trips me out. Wait, what?
Yeah, dude. It's like the whole series trips me out too.
I don't understand this show.
The Simpsons?
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's nothing to really understand, to be honest.
There's really not. I mean, it's just like every other.
The simplicity of it.
Yeah.
I can't believe that stuff's still going. It's crazy.
No, dude, yeah.
For as long as it has, yeah.
I don't like that.
Oh, okay. So this is what he means. Sorry, he just sent me the link. It's Homer and Lisa try floating for the first time. Sensory deprivation.
Yeah, okay, I've seen that.
Yeah,
and they kind of go off into dreamland, but they're still awake.
Yeah, well, and that's what it's cool, man. Because like you don't really have an out of body experience, but you can. I think the more you would go and the more you become pro at it, you could. But I don't know. So, anyways. Everyone, go there. Tell them you heard about it on the podcast. They'll hook you up. It's a cool deal. You have to experience it, and don't just say that. Oh, I'm going to do it. It's like, whether it's a month from now, but plan it. Just get it in place, or put money aside for it. It's only $40, which you're going to blow on jeans or some shoes, new pair of Vans. I know that's how I am, but it's so beneficial for your happiness and health, and even relationships. I know that when I do it, I come home, and Mikkel can notice a different Christian. But I also look at her completely different. And the entire time you're in there, you're thinking about, I could treat fucking people better. I could be a better person. All those things that I want to do, I could do, I should do. Why am I not? And then you just fight with your brain. Like, why the fuck aren't you doing the fun stuff? Like, why are you holding back? It's this battle with yourself and your ego for a little bit. And then it just goes on and on. But it makes you happy, man. I don't know. At least that's how I am. I get happy out of it. That's it. So saltcityfloatspa.com. You can actually schedule it through them. But I think I'd prefer, if you want to get the deal, I think you have to call them on their phone number and just say, hey, I heard about you on a podcast. When can I come in? And then they'll charge you $40 and then you go in and go. So, but bring your own towel. You can rent a towel, but bring your own towel. You shower before you go in. Yes, you go butt naked. And then you get out, you shower, and then you're out. And you can get a massage if you want, but you'd be blowing a good buck. But it's worth it. Don't get me wrong. I can't imagine having a nice massage and then getting in that. Oh, and that would be all worked into your muscles too. Like, it's not only good for your skin, but for your muscles. I know if you're sick, if you have upset stomachs, Epsom salt's amazing. Salt in itself is amazing, but cool shit. So anyways, we're into the show now pretty much.
Yeah.
What the fuck is up, Zach Feston? This guy, I have it right here.
Oh, yeah.
He brings me a fucking official Super Bowl. This guy worked for the Super Bowl. Your dad's in charge of parking at certain huge events.
Yeah, parking
right?
access. Yeah, for anywhere from Major League Baseball, NASCAR, Super Bowl, going to do the Final Four in
where is that?
End of March. It's in Dallas.
Dallas, nice.
Yeah,
Texas is cool, dude. I've never been to Texas, but I really want to go to Texas because I hear cool people, a lot of cool stuff. Now, could she? Oh, wait. So here's my question is, so you worked for that. Did you have a job previous to this? And was your job cool with you having it? Or do you do a leap, or not a leap, a leave?
Absence.
Yeah. Or do you just quit because you make so much?
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Like, I told him I was, like, I'm going to go for a month out to work Super Bowl, and he was like, okay, cool, man, and we'll try and figure out if you come back or not. And I ended up not calling him just because, I'm going to call him and say, okay, I'll work for you for a month, and then I'm going to leave again, and then I'm going to start a different job.
Will you make, we don't have to talk numbers, but will you make as much for what you did, what's it called, Final Four as Super Bowl? Probably not. But
probably not. Final Four, I'll make the same rate, but I'm only going out for 9 days.
Oh, okay, so it's a little less. So you get paid per day.
Yep.
That's cool, though.
It's not bad. I enjoyed it.
You get to go out to big events. That's what's so cool. Is like, I can never say, as of right now, that I've ever been to a Super Bowl. Near a Super Bowl, heard a Super Bowl song, never, whatever it is, I've never seen that. I've never, and you can say that. And I don't think anyone I know has ever been to one other than you. I think that's cool. And this is your third one. Third one.
Yeah.
What a hell of a game it was. Not
from what I hear.
Yeah.
This year I wasn't doing any parking or anything like the past couple of years. I was doing the logistics side of things, setting up signs, cones, delivering food, delivering water, whatever.
That's awesome.
Needs. It was cool, but during the game, everybody realizes that we don't have any exit strategy. So we put together some crazy scheme of plan and
exit strategies and
for getting all the buses and cars out and everything else like that. So I'm sitting down at the TV because we actually had a TV in our trailer this year, which was sick. I sit down with a pizza and I'm about to, finish my pizza. Actually, right before kickoff, I'm watching the fireworks outside, and then I got a call to go out and help set up this exit strategy. So I didn't watch any of the game, but I could hear it, and they showed highlights and stuff outside. So I was like, oh yeah, Seahawks are just raping the Broncos. Which is great.
Sucked, dude. That was a crazy thing.
It was such a bad game.
Yeah, it was bad. And it's good. It depends on what side you were on.
Yeah,
but
yeah, true.
it was, what the fuck happened? Like, that wasn't even a Super Bowl, dude.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, Super Bowl, let alone, I mean, they played.
Can you imagine being a Broncos fan paying thousands of dollars to go to that?
Yeah, dude.
And then
Being disappointed.
Dude, so many people
That
were
amount.
leaving too. Like, so many Broncos fans
Really?
were like leaving immediately. Yeah, like I mean,
that
yeah,
is
oh,
see,
yeah.
and that's what's crazy too. Is like you spend thousands of dollars,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You wait all year, you
Blows
follow
my
your
mind.
team, and then you're like, "Fuck this shit."
Yep.
It's
I'm
first
so
quarter, you're
pissed I'm
fucking
gonna
out.
lose.
Second
Yep.
quarter, like that's interesting. That's
It's-
pretty great. But I
I
guess
think
if you have
it's-
that much money and you really don't give a fuck, it's maybe
Dude, it's
that's
like,
embarrassing.
If it happens, I'd just get drunk and be belligerent.
Yeah,
For the rest of the time.
yeah, you'd have
There's
to.
plenty. I mean, you could just roll around with a gang of belligerents.
Yeah, dude, oh, man, that's
Going
some
crazy
shit.
experience.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, you have to remind me your name again because now I'm getting all cloudy
Ryan.
and foggy. Ryan. Okay, I was 100% sure it was Ryan, but I wasn't going to ask because I was like, I feel like an if I called you something else.
You were Roger, right?
Roger. Yeah, Roger.
Roger Ryan.
Craziest thing. This guy walks into my house. He's Zach's friend, and all of a sudden after we obviously talked for a second, he was saying, "Hey, what's that tattoo behind your ear?" And I had seen this guy work at a certain place, and sure enough, he has a tattoo of the same thing I have behind my ear, which is Hakuna Matata. You can Google it, guys, if you want. But dude, that was just crazy. I was like, holy shit! And because I've seen you before, was it out? I don't want to say the Eagle Mountain. Was it? It was the Lehigh over here, right? No, or did you bounce around?
Yes, yeah. Just
It was,
the
yeah.
one right there.
That's crazy,
Thanksgiving
dude.
Point.
See, that's crazy.
I
Awesome.
know.
dude.
Shortly after, I'm like, hey, I like that.
Yeah, it's a good
That
tattoo,
goes really
dude.
good with my life, and I didn't know there's a symbol like
Yeah, I know. See,
as cool as it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna get that.
this
so.
is truth, dude.
And I doubt I'll ever see Christian Stevens again,
Yeah.
so I'll just get it on my
I'll
phone.
never-
on my arm.
And that's the
never
craziest
seen
part
this
is
guy
we
again.
both have something on the rest of our lives. We have the same exact markings and stuff. That's pretty cool.
But it's good. I mean, it's a good.
No, it is.
Yeah.
But at least he can see his. Like me, I forget it. Like when you told me that you're like, "What's that?" I'm like,
I got a tattoo.
"Oh yeah." I forget it because I don't see it daily. Whereas in this fucking thing's here forever,
Yeah, it
and I
just
don't see
becomes a part
that.
of
And
you.
I'm like, "Oh man." Shout out, by the way, while we're on the topic, let's talk about Zane Collins,
Yeah, Zane.
most badass tattoo man. Is that what they're called? A tattoo artist. Man. He is a man, that he is. But what a badass tattoo artist. He's done Zach's work. He's done my work. What an incredible guy. I mean, you tell him the shit you want, and then this guy can just...
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like it's nothing. And it's like it's better than what I thought would come out. And he's so great. And when it comes down to actually tattooing and coloring, and he's perfect at it. He's a perfectionist. And he gets it right down to the fucking T. Makes it beautiful. He now works where? Painted
Painted Temple. Yeah. It's
Beautiful,
down in
dude.
Salt Lake.
What an awesome guy. I'm glad that things are going great for that guy. And the funny thing is, that guy went to school to be a nutritionist, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool to be a nutritionist, and he's like, fuck it. I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah.
I think that's so awesome. We need to get him on the show, because I would love to have
Yeah.
an interesting... Imagine if he's working on us while he's fucking doing the podcast. That would be awesome. Zane, if you're down, I'm serious. Let's do it, dude. Let's have you on the podcast, because I would love to ask him questions like, what's the craziest thing he's ever tattooed? Where's the weirdest place he's ever tattooed? And has any, how do you deal with people who are upset with, when they decide, yeah, that's what I want, and then they don't, and they come back, maybe, has anyone ever blamed him, or, stupid stuff like that? Has he ever tattooed on drunk people?
Do that.
I know.
Dude, he's tattooed on drunk people. I can speak from experience, actually.
Hell yeah.
Straight up let me drink in the chair when they owned their own shop. He had a what was it called, babe? The
It was
Murray-
called... No, it was Midville.
Midvale. Yeah, Midvale.
Oh, is that okay?
remember
That's the
what
one
it
I think
was.
I went to. It was like
The
it was
very first one, like a little tiny shack
The art
off
gallery
off the
one or
main.
something.
yeah. It was an interesting little place. I liked it a lot.
It
It
was
was
cool.
just I've never even heard it. I don't think I've ever gone into that city until that day. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this fucking exists. Like
Yeah,
this place
I've never
exists.
seen that main road right there. I
Yeah,
was like, well,
exactly.
This is just like
And there was a
every other
Winco
city.
there. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh,
There's
yeah,
a Winco
you don't see
here? Like,
Wincos anywhere anymore.
yeah, no, it was way interesting. But no, if anyone's looking to get some work done, shout out to fucking Zane Collins. I mean, the thing is he prices beautifully too. It's not like he's here to rape you. It's like he wants to truly do great art for a great price. But like he does a hell of a job. Like he should honestly ask for more, because that guy is such a badass, and he's so good to get along with, and he's awesome, and he's always good to fucking, I don't know what it is, man. I'm gonna get that tattooed there.
But yeah, you
No,
gotta
I'm
get
kidding.
the full
Earlier,
yeah,
Yeah, it's a
just
crazy.
get a whole back.
I think,
piece.
to be honest, I want to say, by the way, they're talking about this picture in my room that I have sitting here next to the Joseph Smith. No man knows my history. I want to say its name is
Baphomet.
Yes.
Yes. The star.
And where it came from was apparently there was some priest who was going a little nuts up in some bell tower and was kind of like locked in this cellar and thing. And then he decided one day he was going to draw, or he had seen and had this vision of the most beautiful, perfect thing that's ever existed ever. And it was this. That it was half goat, half woman, half man, half bird, half fucking whatever. The guy was obviously on drugs. Who knows what the fuck he's talking about? But so many people see this. This is, I mean, they never talk about it in Freemasonry, but if you ever see things about Freemasonry, they always bring up this guy and like, see, they're devil worshippers because it's a fucking goat and a pentagram. But a pentagram actually, I won't get too deep into it, but it's all fucking from Greece, and it's mathematics, and it's all these crazy things, and the sun, the
Something like
Sun, the moon,
satanic.
the
And I was like,
perpetual
yeah.
balance.
See, it looks like that,
Yeah,
but
it does.
supposedly it was, and it's by a priest that just said this is the most perfect thing that's ever existed. Like if there was a perfect creature, a being, it was this, which is named what?
Baphomet.
By the way, follow this motherfucker on Instagram. Zane, by the way. We're talking about tattoos still. Follow Zane on Instagram if you have it. It's Zane Collins. Collin is, by the way, Collins, as it sounds. And then tattoo. On Instagram. Oh, shit. I don't know how to unlock your phone now. It just... Zach got this fancy new phone, which is called a what again? Sony?
Sony Xperia. The Z1.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's beautiful, dude. It's huge. I love the screen. It's clear. It's great. Anyways, so follow this motherfucker. Here's the deal. Here's his phone number. If you want to text him, call him, or maybe this is probably... Do you think this is Painted Temple's phone number?
No, I doubt it. It's probably a cell number.
Okay.
I would
Well,
assume.
either way, I have his number. I guess it's good. Anyways, 801-448-5134, guys. Check him out. Zane Collins at Painted Temple in Salt Lake City. What a badass guy. He's incredible. He can come out. I mean, tell him what you like. That's what I had to do. I told him exactly what I was thinking, what I wanted, what I wanted to incorporate, what I was thinking about in the future to mix with it. And he just, here you go. Do you like it? I'm like, do I fucking like it, dude? I love this thing.
That's exactly.
And I
what
need to
feel
go back
too.
to him so bad because I look at my tattoo. I'm like, I just need to color it, and then I want to add more to it because I want to begin the sleeve part. Like I just want this to be everything colored.
Yeah.
Like I just want it to be filled in. Where I love your fucking tattoos, dude. Zach's. If you don't know Zach Feston, you need to Google and find. Oh, whoa! I haven't seen that. Oh
You
yeah, I
haven't seen
have.
the color? I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
maybe
yeah.
not. Maybe not. Dude, I love it, dude.
No, yeah, dude, that's
Zach's just showing me his brand new tattoo. His sleeve is so gonna be kick ass. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful part is I would never second guess what Zane is doing because it's just like it's beautiful art. It still looks gorgeous to this day, and
Absolutely.
and he incorporates it so well. And he's great to think with or brainstorm with and anything.
And you walk in there. I walked in there with like 4 or 5 pictures that I pulled from Google, and I was like, dude, I really love the
Yep.
spaceship. I want to incorporate that really bad, and I love the all-seeing eye and the pyramids in
Yep.
Egypt.
Yeah.
And so he just draws up this crazy, like, what if we have just like destruction in the background? I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, that's so cool. Let's do that shit. So he draws it all up, and then he explains the colors too. Because I mean, you have the stencil, that's absolutely fine. It looks sick as fuck. But
Yeah.
once he starts messing with the colors, it's like that blue on my arm.
I love
It's
the
like
blue, dude.
perfect glow.
And I love your purple and green on your fucking owl, dude. Your owl is incredible. I've never seen such a gorgeous owl ever in my entire
Yeah,
life.
dude.
Like that
Yeah.
in the clouds and the fucking the blocks. Like it is. If you don't know Zach Feston's tattoo, like you have never seen a badass tattoo. Like when I saw that, I jizzed in my pants and was like, someone can actually come up with that. And Zane Collins is the most badass guy ever.
Oh, yeah, dude.
If you guys don't trust anyone else but Zane Collins, I'm serious. I will bitch slap you so hard if you go. I mean, if you're just doing something fuck it. Still go to him because if you want it done right, you're gonna have that on the rest of your life. Like my brother went. Stupid ass. Should have asked me. Got a fucking turtle tattoo, which is a badass tattoo, but on his foot. And the fucker went to that AF place. What is it called at the time? That shitty one on the corner by Burger King.
Smile place.
It's changed like 40 times
Oh,
because they've
Convicted
ruined.
Ink? Was it Convicted Ink?
No, that's
No.
up in Orem.
It's up in Orem, okay.
Fuck. What was it called?
There's one in American
I don't
Farm.
remember what it was. was.
Happy
Valley.
Valley tattoo,
Valley,
dude.
that's it, yep.
Worst. My friend also has one. I love him to death, but he got a Michael Jordan, like Air Jordan right here.
The 23.
Wearing
like the
out.
little-
My brother's wearing out. Like there's holes and gaps and things missing. I'm like, this is supposed to stay on forever, man. This is fucked up. Like it doesn't even look good.
Yep. Cover
Guys,
Thank God
if
for
you're doing
cover-ups.
it, I don't care how much it costs. If it's on your body for the rest of your life, you'll thank yourself.
Yeah,
Plus,
spend the money.
it is
Don't
tax
cut out.
season time. Go spend a little bit of your tax season on yourself before you go pay off all your
And
bills.
speaking of shitty tattoos, I know Zane can cover up some pretty shitty tattoos.
I've seen it. Yeah, no, you're right. And if you need to cut on my leg, I need to incorporate something. We're gonna figure out something together. But my Jesus damn tattoo, I'm gonna.
Just get fuck Jesus.
I would love to.
And-
Lucifer or fuck Jesus,
Yeah,
dude. I'm down.
Lucifer.
Lucifer.
Fuck
That's what I tell people because it's in Hebrew. I'm like, what does it say in there? I'm like, Lucifer. But no, he can come up with something great. I'm going to focus on the arm first, and then we'll go from there because I just need to finish it. I've just been so damn busy that I haven't ever gotten back, and I feel so bad. So Zane, if you're listening, which I'm going to shout this out to you tomorrow and let you know that we gave you a fucking 15-minute
Yep.
tattoo long request. If you want to work on us, if you want to be on the podcast, please, we would be honored. I know Zach will be on the show if you come, and you're more than welcome to bring your girlfriend and have a few shots with us, and we can hang out. We can shoot the shit, and you can work on us.
Yeah.
No, that'd be cool. I wish I was that talented. I could just work on myself, but no, I would
It's like
never
I'm doing
ever
my own
trust myself.
tattoo and that.
But I don't think I would even trust myself, even if I was a most like. Do you think well?
Dude, I bet you Zane's tattooed himself. I would assume.
I
sure
would have
everybody's
to.
done it.
I think you'd have to.
Yeah, you'd have to.
Because you'd almost not trust anyone else but yourself
Yeah.
in certain situations.
I
Yeah,
feel
the
like
mind
it'd be
is
hard
so
to
We'll
inflict
definitely
pain on
have.
yourself.
Yeah, you're
to,
right.
We'll have to bring.
It just depends on
We'll have
where.
to-
Like if it's something simple in here, like all right,
You're like, oh,
fucking.
that hurts, I'm done.
You have to do it anyways. Okay, Zane, you're a badass. If anyone's looking to get tattoos, again, Painted Temple, Salt Lake City, Zane Collins, hit him up. Find him on Instagram at Zane Collins Tattoo. He's got a lot of his pictures there. I think both of ours are on there. But look at his artwork. Look at his stuff, guys. This guy is talented. Beyond talented. That's all. Anyways, that's it. Oh, we love
can't do
tattoos.
much
It's the most
anymore.
beautiful thing you can ever do. If you have a temple, whatever. But paint it. Fucking paint it. Painted Temple. Go to Painted Temple.
Yeah.
I love that name.
Make
It's
it
so
beautiful.
perfect for Utah. Painted fucking Temple.
For real.
Such a great name. What else should we fucking talk about? Let's get into what you want to talk about, which is chemtrails. Let's get into chemtrails. How do we jump into chemtrails?
How do we jump into it? It's a worry.
What
It's-
is
it's
okay?
a
Here,
worry.
here.
Looking
I'm
at
gonna
the
play
sky.
stupid
Simple as that.
until we get into it for a minute. What the fuck is what is a chemtrail? I don't know what you're talking about. Explain chemtrail to someone who has no idea what a chemtrail is.
Okay, so a chemtrail. I'm sure everybody's heard of a contrail. I mean, maybe not the term.
What is a
contrail?
contrail?
A contrail is is it just a mist that comes off the planes? I suppose I don't know exactly what comes off to make that.
It's so when you look up at the airplanes and you
Just
see
kind
the
of like
trail
cloud,
following
like the-
behind them,
Yeah,
that is
I-
a contrail. Is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
turbulence.
steam, turbulence.
The
everything
turbulence
else.
created
Yeah.
by the plane creates it stirs up the moisture in the air and creates just a short little cloud that just kind of follows the plane.
Yes.
But these chemtrails, for what they are it is a conspiracy. It's always been a conspiracy. Probably always will be because what's the logical reason?
It's not like they would ever, if it were to be true, they would never come out and say.
Absolutely
Well,
not.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
I highly doubt that. Yeah.
So I mean,
Okay.
you look up in the sky and you see these checkerboards of clouds or whatever else, and just like really weird shit. And then a half hour later, you're looking and it's like getting together, like they're being put together and spreading out, just kind of like a mist. So it turns into a
I guess
cloud
I've never
and gets
watched
thicker
them.
and thicker. You haven't,
I mean, I've seen contrails, but I've never seen it to the point of actually making something.
dude. It happens.
Yeah.
But maybe,
on the
yeah,
daily.
Daily,
Like,
especially in Utah
yeah.
with us being like a mountain biome, like that. That's what our
We're in such shitty air quality.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
And in Jersey, too, dude. When I was out there, I mean, every single day of Super Bowl, which is very odd because, I've dipped into a lot of different conspiracies about chemtrails and everything else, but one major one was weather control or weather manipulation,
Okay.
at that, which we'll get a little bit more into shortly, but day of Super Bowl. It's been negative degrees, like negative 22.
Why did they
negative
do
19.
that? Of all things, before we get into... Why fucking hold the Super Bowl at the most freezing place where
Dude.
it's snowing, it's crazy, instead of what is it, the Cowboys or the Arizona place that has indoor, it's beautiful,
Mhm.
it's nice,
That's where it's
awesome
next
stadium.
year.
Where is it?
Next year.
Arizona.
Good. Well, fuck yeah.
But why there? You know, it's because it's happened.
Just try to bring money for the economy and stuff. It's like the Olympics.
You have to move around. I mean, everybody has a football team. Everybody's got to have a chance. But the fact that the day of was, what was it, 51 degrees was the high, where we've been experiencing negative degrees for the past however long, and then the very next day...
Okay, wait. Now it's kind of clicking with me.
Yeah, and then the next day we get 8 inches. 8 inches of snow. Just pounds, dude. Right after the game. Like, an hour or so after the game, it starts raining and everything starts going off. I'm not saying...
That's interesting. No, that is interesting, though. Yeah. I'll give you that.
Definitely. But, you know, and I woke up, I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was out there towing cars because they were parked in the fucking wrong places and shit. It was a mess all morning, but I was looking at the clouds and I was like, holy shit. Like, just everywhere, dude. Just lines. Like, I mean, not normal like you see here, like a normal checkerboard where you're, you know, pretty spaced out. These are just straight lines. And it's just overcast all day. Didn't rain, didn't do anything until after the game. But, you know, it's warm, it's fancy, it's all nice and dandy. And, you know, that's what I say. I do
have to believe... I'm going to be the devil's advocate on some of this stuff because I'm not 100% sure yet. Yeah. And to be honest, you got to admit you're not 100% sure either way. Not. I love conspiracies for the fact of that. It's sad, but a lot of the times they end up being true.
Yeah.
With weather manipulation, I do believe we have this. Absolutely, we've proven it scientifically in certain things, in certain areas. We've shown it other countries as well. Russia used to drop concrete from fucking giant planes above the clouds. I saw this on 1,000 Ways to Die or whatever that show is. They dropped one day, I guess the story of that is some guy was a pimp of his hooker or whatever and something was going on and the government was doing that, dropping concrete above, which I don't know why it turned into something. But for some weird reason, this turned into like giant concrete balls and like just started hailing from the sky and it just killed the pimp guy or whatever. But that was on it. But I know that people have tried and to be honest, you could, as long as you understood weather and really could study it and you could totally manipulate it in a way.
Yeah, even understand.
You could learn to do that.
And it's too deep. It's too deep to even get an answer for. There's no way you're going to be able to tell now or ask anybody now if are chemtrails real or is there any harm to us, is what's going on exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I mean, it's always going to be left open. There's never going to be an actual answer, which bothers the fuck out of me because I hate not knowing that kind of shit. You know, I know. Would absolutely harm me in the long run. Because, I mean, the chemicals that are made or that chemtrails are utilizing as it is, or the main ones that they are spraying right now is barium, aluminum, and strontium.
I don't know what that is.
Just aluminum.
That who is spraying, by the way?
Who? That's the question.
Okay, so how do you know? So explain that really quick. What's the study done? Or I mean, what's the 3 things that was found? I mean, like where were they found? Does that make sense?
Yeah, in the water, soil, rain. I mean, bark in the trees and stuff. I mean, I know Joe Rogan dipped into it a little bit in one of his podcasts and TV shows about the why in the world are they spraying and what in the world are they spraying.
Yeah, because he talked about it. He's all 100% for chemtrails, saying like, what the fuck's going on?
You know, and I was there with him for a long time, but as Joe Rogan kind of pushed him off a little bit during that interview, I was like, wow. You know, because I was just like, fuck, that's fucking sketchy, whatever, you know.
That one guy at the very end, by the way, we're talking about a show that's called Joe Rogan Questions Everything. There's an episode on what we're talking about is chemtrails / some other stuff, but mainly chemtrails. Harp. And and that was fucking weird, dude. That city,
Colorado.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Well, let's talk about Colorado in just 1 second. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Do you guys have to pee by any chance?
No,
do you really? Okay, you're good to go whenever. But if you guys ever do, please let me know, and we're gonna do bathroom breaks whenever you guys want. I could pop a song if you guys need to, because I wanted to get into detail about this. But if you two are good to go, I'm gonna go pee real quick.
Go for it.
Mallory was gonna go pee real quick.
Go for it. If we're good to go, what do you mean? You want us to keep talking to these guys?
Yeah, no, keep talking. So when you're saying, kind of describe Joe Rogan's episode a little bit, if you can.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I'll pop back in and we'll continue talking about it. Okay, hold on. Okay, keep going. So Joe Rogan was... The episode is pretty much... he's questioning it. He's looking at it because beforehand he was very much for it, but now with the show he comes into it questioning, trying to figure out what the fuck's really going on. And find real doctors or the people on this documentary and other stuff like that, and ask real questions. So, out of that understanding, coming into it before watching the episode, what were your thoughts? What were your...
Well, before coming to the episode itself, I felt like it was... I knew a lot about... I didn't know a lot about it until recently, that I started looking in more and more into what they are spraying or what the effects may be afterwards with the chemicals that they are spraying that have been found, essentially. By Joe Rogan, he walks through the show, asks so many questions to so many different people. It goes so back and forth. There's no way. I mean, himself, he even said, "I'm too dumb to realize which one of you is stupid." Like,
I'm just here asking questions. I'm trying to figure out answers. I'm not saying what's right, what's wrong. I'm just looking up in the air, looking up in the sky, saying, all right, something isn't right here.
Exactly.
This isn't right. I've been to school. I've been taught that certain airways or the contrails go this way. Well, if the contrail is this way and disperses with the plane and follows the plane, then what is this that is staying up in the sky? Mm-hmm. You watch it in the sky. You look at it in the sky. You sit over and watch it over the day, and you say, okay, we've got no wind. This is just kind of falling over the top of this.
Exactly.
It can't be just some sort of simple cloud.
Yeah. And
some sort of evaporation, the water cycle. It can't be that. You can see them connecting together, combining together, and then just dispersing them.
Like a time lapse. If you fucking took a time lapse video, you see a chemtrail fly across the sky, getting dumped, and you'll see another one, I'm sure, within another half hour, 45 minutes time. If you time lapse that shit for a half hour, you'll see it start making
it disperses into clouds.
Yeah, I mean it looks like
what seems to be a cloud, and you like I said, you're in school, you're taught. This
cloud,
jet stream,
stratus. There's
the jet stream, like this. It'll make a stratus cloud. It's not a cumulus cloud where it looks like these big fluffy clouds, but it kind of just is spread out over the valley.
Okay.
And most people would look up and just say, "Oh,
it's
just a cloud. It's just a normal cloud." Like working at where I worked, I'd be able to watch it.
Yeah.
I was right there on the point of the mountain, so I'd be able to watch them daily over an 8-10 hour shift.
Yeah.
You'd be able to watch them just come in. One go there, and it almost would seem like an airplane would just fly, fly north to south, and then kind of loop around and come from the east to the west and kind of make a giant cross. And there's numerous different airplanes on this.
This isn't new either. We started looking into this 2 years, or what, 2011?
3 years ago.
Oh, wow. So you guys have really been into this.
Well, okay. I've just been looking at it, monitoring it, kind of, just to see if there's anything more holy shit going on about it.
You want to know what's going on in your daily life, things that are affecting you.
But the one thing that I initially realized that was really frustrating to me was aluminum. Spraying aluminum. Aluminum itself is a high cause for what was it? What the hell? My brain just went dead. For Alzheimer's. Damn it!
Yes, Alzheimer's.
Yeah. Just
now. My only question is, what if we think about this? What if it's I guess technically it could go with water, right? Yeah. That clouds create rain, which come down, which if we're taking soil samples would be within water. People drink water or whatever it is. Maybe it's old people, I know. But I have to do it. I've got to admit there is a lot of. I heard the other day it was 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10 babies are now autistic.
Yes,
and I have no idea if that has to do with this stuff or whatever. But I think that's weird because it's not always been that way. And my only guess is it's either that, it's got to do with maybe some food. If we want to talk about that, if we want to talk about weird chemicals, let's talk about some fucking food, dude.
Like GMO.
With GMO and what is that?
Monsanto.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That is some shit, and it's got to do a lot with that. I think too. Some weird shit is going on. I've got to admit that. I'm going to always be skeptical because I'd be stupid to stand here and say, hey, this is true 100%, and then it comes out as false. But I don't want to be the middle guy like, oh, well, it is or it isn't. I do care. I just don't know enough at this point to say anything. But 9/11, fuck, you want to talk 9/11? I'm all with you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some fucking 9/11 because I know that shit. That's facts. Where's the fucking planes? that one, the United 92, where the fuck's any plane?
Yeah, it's fact. But I mean, so many people have heard so many different conspiracies before that. They're not
that it ruins it. And I think and I don't want to say whoever's in charge.
It can go either way, no matter what. I mean, I could say my MacBook is... I don't even know a good example, but I mean, I can make up a conspiracy about my specific MacBook. And
that Steve Jobs did this, and he has this,
exactly.
this, and that. A cool, well, I wouldn't say it's cool. It's kind of a weird thing, but there's a chemical in most phones, smartphones, screens, the LED, the whatever that comes from Africa. That's like way bad. Like, I mean, they're doing like the slave camps, the shit that like mine for it, look for it, and we kind of need it. But like we're making it's so bad because it's like that's great, but so bad of what people are doing to other people to get it, and it's a sticky situation because you don't want to support that, but you kind of are when you don't mean to, and most people don't know about it. I don't know the exact chemical. I know I should know, but
it comes down to like energy.
Yeah,
you know, we need energy, so people have taken this radioactive form and saying this is energy, this is good for us, but at the same time. Technologically, it may be good for us, but when you break down to it, like it's killing ourselves. You know, people are getting tumors, cancer from this.
Maybe it's just me noticing that, but have you? It seems like a lot of people are getting fucking cancer.
Yeah,
and I know I was a kid back in the day, probably not more aware, but maybe that was a common. Maybe it was the exact same common. I always think about that. Like I try to put myself in my parents' place. Like, okay, you know, parenting me, I'm a young kid. Was everything still? The weird things going on when they were just young adults like us, like was cancer as common as it is sounding now?
It wasn't,
because there's more walks for cancer. There's more bullshit for cancer. I know people close to me that have cancer. Whereas in growing up, I swear, like during my childhood, even in junior high, like cancer. What cancer? Like what the fuck's cancer?
Now,
and maybe, and I always wonder still if it's like maybe I'm just becoming more smart and aware, and now I'm learning about cancer.
You're removing that veil,
or
like,
exactly,
you don't believe everything that people are being telling you.
Was cancer really just boom, like just started? I mean, I know it's been around, but it seems a fuck ton more common than it used to be because you never hear about like. I don't know, man. It's weird. So what's going on?
Like, a lot of it has to do with like smartphones too. Because I read an article like not too long ago about a girl who was younger and like she got breast cancer and they linked it back or like. Well, the source was back to when like she would stick her phone in her bra to hold it like for different things. And
I think about that all the time with my phone. I try not to like. Yeah. I don't know why, or maybe it's just my mind because I've heard things like that. But I feel like whenever I have my phone right here or like a certain place near me, like I feel like not a headache or something weird. Supposedly that's what this is. So this Himalayan sea salt lamp in the room that you guys can't see. Google it. Buy one, guys. I highly suggest it. Apparently, phones have negative ions. And this gets rid of negative ions. Like, this removes negative ions. The shit that cell phones, I mean, they're sending out frequency and signals. Like, have you ever been in your car? And this doesn't happen more frequently now, but remember when it used to be, like, big, where you'd have a cell phone in the car and you hear, like, get a text and it's like,
that'll still happen
and
on my
you knew
computer.
when your phone was kind of like, oh, I'm getting a text now. Yeah. Like, you know there's vibrations and energy and signals and whatever the fuck's going on, frequencies. Right. There's shit going on, and our body is full of energy, and it is weird that I guarantee it fucks with us, and it's becoming more common. Another thing, too, that I like that you talked about, because I notice it a lot, is my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
My eyes, like, and I'm scared for our kids. Like, Jake already, he was on the show last night, but he got his kid an iPad, and he's playing with it, but, you know, here it is, a young, developing kid, and I think that the iPad games are great and everything, but it's the fact that that iPad is this close to the kid's face, and he's just starting out so young that it's fucking up their eyes. Not only maybe a frequency too, but I'm saying like eyes, like they're really getting fucked up because what is it? It's nearsighted because we're looking at our phone so close that when I try to read a description off my Netflix, off my TV from my couch, I have to squint and I can't see, or I have to get my glasses because it's like we're so used to reading it, and I think we're fucking ourselves up, man. And I'm scared because I really don't want. I don't want our kids to deal with that shit, but then I don't want my kids to be behind on the technology because I feel like that's where they're going to advance. I mean,
I think
weird.
Like, I think technology is a good thing, but
I agree.
I believe it's becoming a downfall to us because, like you said, kids are looking at their iPads and they're getting their sight screwed up, but also it's taking away from like them socializing and stuff.
Dude, you're telling me, man.
People worry about becoming zombies, but when you look at the world around us, you'll go to a party, you'll go on the bus station. Instead of people talking like, if I were to sit next to you, I just pull up my phone and...
Exactly, because no one wants to have a fucking conversation anymore. If you sit on a city bus back in, fucking 1991, or pre-2000, fucking, you sit on a bus, most likely you're going to strike up a conversation with someone.
To the person next to you, that's what life is about. That's what it's supposed to be, is learning
absolutely. Well, just having...
networking is...
Understanding, like, people will ask out each other, or they'll go on dates. Like, to be honest, I met Mikkel kind of through Facebook. We met really through friends, but in a way it was we met each other and we knew each other through Facebook before we ever had met. And it's weird. I'm not saying dating sites are bad, because honestly they're great. That's good. But people are becoming, younger kids who are growing up in this, just starting now, in junior high, you could count on maybe one hand the friends that maybe had a cell phone.
And those little brick ones.
And now every fucking child has a cell phone. And that's fine. I understand there's emergencies, there's things that happen, but I think it deals with two issues. Sexuality. We're talking, you could see a full-on, that girl that you like that are dating full-on nude before maybe ever seeing her nude in person and working for it. It's like, send me a nude, and if you don't, or if you do, then I'm going to throw you up on the internet, and your life is fucked. Like, good luck getting that out, because people are going to save that to the computer. It's going to be gone. Yeah, the website may remove it, but someone is always going to have that naked picture somewhere, and that can fuck with your mind.
Snapchat.
Yeah, well, Snapchat's a fucking joke too.
Yeah.
And anyways, and then also just obviously social wise, people are not communicating. They're not talking with each other.
You're not learning. You're being, here's this device. Look at this device all day long. Read what you want.
Yeah.
Read what we want you to know.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
Instead of talking to the person next to you, I mean, you have to go about your life every day saying, every person I come across, they know something I don't.
And the funny thing is 99.9% of the time that we're checking our phone, we don't have any new updates. Like, we don't have a new Facebook update. We don't have a new Instagram like. We don't have a new fucking Twitter or a new whatever, a new text message, new phone call, new voicemail. It's like just this, just scroll through the same fucking newsfeed I saw 5 minutes ago. Turn it off. Oh, maybe there's one new update from whatever. Oh, and it's the same fucking newsfeed. And we do it to ourselves, and then we get sad and depressed. Like, why is there something new?
Yeah, there's nothing new. Nobody's commenting.
What the fuck is this? Exactly, dude. And we get sad and depressed, and I think socially it makes people sad because it's like, Facebook. Let's talk about Facebook. And then we're going to get back into chemtrails, I swear to God.
Dude.
With Facebook, people are, again, there's two things. We were talking about this on Valentine's Day, me and Mikkel, because I think once you get married, and maybe you realize this, or just more mature and adult, or obviously marriage, I think guaranteed, is the things that obviously the parties, the fun stuff, it doesn't fucking really, it's not as cool, it's not as fun anymore. But then also like Valentine's Day, like me and Mikkel, we just went out to Chili's. Like we fucking did Chili's. I bought her some fun stuff. I bought her some good presents. But it always comes down to this competition now with Facebook / Instagram.
Yeah.
Let me outdo my friends. I'm a girl. Look at my pretty rose, this and this and this. And we went to here and there. And they're spending, and these guys or these girls, they're spending so much fucking money. Like, I'm not going to say who, but there's a certain person that my wife is friends with. And her husband, for her birthday, I gotta recap all this. So the husband bought her a new car. What? My wife's saying not to talk about that. Bought her a ton of shit. Took her to Las Vegas. Yada yada yada. All this stuff over this just birthday weekend. But it's this whole like let me shout out. Let me fucking everyone just see what I have. And it's kind of weird that we're getting to this whole competition phase of pictures, or that I have a social life. And when you look at other people's pictures and they're going out to a bar, they're at Nitro Circus, they're somewhere fun, or these crazy things, then you almost kill your self-esteem. Like, why don't I have fun friends like that? Why don't I do something like that? Why doesn't my girlfriend do that? Or my boyfriend, my husband, my wife? Why isn't my brother? Why? It's this whole bad thing of
but
why
I don't
doesn't
think people realize it though? It's like
they don't. You have to stop and really think about it. And yeah.
Well, another thing, like, you gotta think about, too, are they actually there enjoying it, or are they just trapped into their phone trying to one-up everybody?
Exactly,
saying, like,
and that's the thing, too.
I'm here doing this, I'm not really having a good time here, but guess what, I'm here, and I know you want to be here, but you're not.
It's so funny, because, like, I kind of have, like, a little bit different view of things like that. Like, I don't look at things and be like, oh, I want to do that, or, oh, I'm jealous of them. I'm like, that's awesome. I want to take more pictures for the fact of, like, they're documenting their lives. Like, they get to go back and be like, oh, remember this time? Like, look, we have a picture of that. And I always tell
That's
Zach,
good,
like,
too. No,
we
yeah.
need to take more pictures together, like, when we do things.
It's true.
'cause
Me and
we do a
Mikkel
lot of
always
awesome
forget to do
things
that. 'Cause
together.
but then, yeah, no, you're right. Because I guess we are trying to enjoy that moment. But looking back, it would be so nice to have a mini picture of it. And then another thing, too, is I hate that some people, when you're doing it out of your heart, like exactly what we just said, that we want to share our memories, that we want to be with us, and I want to be able to look back and have it. There's those other people that look at it and think they're just trying to fucking be so cool. They're, again, everyone's going to be different. It's their ego talking, saying, Zach and Malibu are just trying to be so cool. They're always constantly posting this shit and that shit. They're always trying to be, cool, and whatever it is that you guys are out and about doing that they're not doing, they just are like, oh, I don't know. It's a weird situation.
They push it off on somebody else rather than...
Or they won't like it, but they're like your best friends. But, like Mikkel all the time, she'll have cool things, and you really learn really quickly through the internet who your real friends are and who they aren't. Like, it's funny because you'll have the friends who see you face to face, they talk to you or whatever. But rarely when, like my podcast, I have great friends, but rarely do they ever fucking, turn it on, listen, or ever want to be on my show, or ask how it's going. And I get it, that's fine. It's a hobby of mine. I don't like a lot of hobbies of theirs, I get it. But it's this whole battle of just weird shit. Like, I'm not going to like their post, but I saw it, I'm aware of it. Or Mikkel will come up with a new business idea or a sticker, or she got in a Cosmo magazine, and her closest friends will not like it because they don't want to make her think she's aware, that they're aware of her doing well in what her hobby is doing. And it's this funny fucking mind game.
Down to a T, too, like battling. Like with this fucking Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
I don't give two motherfucks. I'm going to stay with my PlayStation 3.
Sure.
I'm just going to stick with it. I don't give
a
shit.
Know what?
But,
You're
there's
smart,
so many people going back and forth. They're neck and neck. We care so much about this.
Yeah.
Or like football, or down to Facebook.
You're right,
one-upping people. I mean, I feel like it's just such a fucking competition with everybody anymore. That
what do you think we could do at this point to fix that? Is humanity, if everyone heard this podcast tonight, realizes and agrees, fuck, they're right, okay, what could we all do to fix that? I think we're so far ahead with technology and phones and these certain things. It's not. I think
we're stuck. I think we're stuck in technology. I don't feel like we're progressing in technology. I don't see any cool shit anymore like my fucking new phone. Yeah,
it's just a different style, different screen, different thing, but same old shit.
I can still call my wife. I can still text my wife, Facebook my wife, and everything else.
But you could have done that with a fucking Nokia flip phone from 2002 or whatever. You're right. Yeah.
My personal opinion that if anything were to change in our society, in the fucking world now,
you think it collapse.
It'd have to restart, dude. There's no fucking way we can pull ourselves.
Isn't that so weird that we live at a time like really? If the internet were somehow, and that doesn't even make sense. Like, where's the internet? Like the internet like out of? Does that make sense? Like, there's got to be one. If you think about God, maybe we can flip this because that's a good analogy. It's like the internet, right? Internet is this. It's that. It's the fact that you're listening to me right now. It's the fact of anything and everything out there.
Connectedness.
And then people, and then people talk about God, which is supposedly this one object. Well, the internet is this one object, but really it's not. Like, could anyone ever shut down the full entire internet? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, could you ever stop that or find the source of just the internet? Like, if I just unplug this, anyone cannot be in contact.
I don't think that they could ultimately destroy or disconnect everything about it, because
I had no idea, man.
So many different servers, so many different modems that people can use privately.
People. Yeah, like the anonymous.
Yeah,
like they're very intelligent.
You could have your own building that's just running off their own internet and send everything to the top floor. But I mean, if everybody's using Google Chrome, you could probably crash Google Chrome. You could probably crash Firefox, Mozilla, or whatever. It's like, I'm sure you could get a grasp of it, but the technology and the money that you'd have to put into it, you'd have to have a huge ass fucking building like the NSA down the road.
Yeah. Yep. So now I think, like, when it comes to people shutting it down, maybe not one certain person, but if something were to happen, like a huge solar flare that would just knock out a power grid. If there's something that could wavelength of energy that just comes to our Earth, we may not be able to see it. I mean, we can only see 1% of visible light. So if there's something that came down, that could possibly shut it down.
Yeah.
But as for one person, I don't think one person or one single organization could completely shut it down, because the signals are there.
You're right.
You know,
yeah.
regardless the radio signal.
So weird how it fucking works.
Yeah, dude.
I just saw a picture on Twitter today, actually. It was like the 3 places that the internet was actually running in 1969, which apparently it was even alive in 1969, was Utah, Los Angeles, and San Francisco, I want to say. Those were the only 3 places in the entire world.
What?
Which I didn't even know that, yeah. I'll have to find the picture. It was on Joe Rogan's thing.
Early.
But yeah, fucking, it was like 1969 that the internet was running. And exactly, I'm like, fucking internet, what, how, so what is that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand, like, what would have the internet entailed in 1969? Does that mean just, like,
Binary,
connection? Like,
Might just be emails,
like sending like a faster message?
Fax.
Or, or, you know, I don't know what it was, but that was pretty crazy. Hold on, I think I've got the picture right here.
Almost like, what's the
I hope I do. No, I
tapping called?
Oh,
yeah. Well, and that's a weird
Like
thought.
a telegram. Like, maybe it was just like binary. Like, all they could
How
say
do,
was
okay, so explain to me how a
000.
telegram would work on it. Because I was watching a documentary on the Titanic the other day, and they were doing the whole SOS thing. How the fuck does a boat out in the middle of the Atlantic at night, 18 whatever year it was, or 19 whatever, fucking send an SOS signal out in the middle of the water? I don't get it.
That's just like the beginning of the airwaves, like us
Mm-hmm.
understanding the airwaves or radio waves. You know, there's a certain.
That's so interesting.
Like every letter in the alphabet is a certain like say A is a dot and then a line. So you go tap it real quick and then hold it for a second, and that's A, and then you just write your message out letter by letter, and that's just the beginning of radio waves. You know, it's like we don't necessarily understand it fully, but it's there. It operates.
Yeah.
Somebody's found out how to tap into it, so I mean that was just the beginning of it.
That's just crazy to me. And Edison, he makes some crazy. I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff about electricity. I guess there was 4 places, by the way. One of them was UCLA, something, Utah.
Yes, SRI.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, so crazy shit. But I don't know, man. There's some weird stuff. So chemtrails. What are your worries? Say okay. And I know you don't 100% believe yet, but you're very open to the idea of. Can you, okay, here, I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second. Explain to me why you think maybe that, imagine this, like government or NSA here or certain places or Obama, or where there's very wealthy, rich people who may be involved with this, what's so-called the Illuminati, or those who are the higher powered, very wealthy, rich, who are also maybe in the loop, maybe military members, maybe people that they need. Why would they overall spray everyone? That's my understanding. Why spray everyone?
You know, I think there's very minimal people that know what they're spraying and their intentions behind spraying.
What do you believe intentions are?
Intentions, they say it's for global warming, to reflect sun rays to protect us from the sun.
Stop doing it? I mean, to slow it?
To slow it, yeah,
down,
exactly.
But, now, do you believe in global warming?
No.
You don't believe in it?
Absolutely not.
Really? Can you tell me why?
Well, I mean, just the research from, you've seen years, I don't remember what the years or anything documents, I don't have anything pulled up here in front of me, but there has been recorded dates and recorded ice melts from both sides of the world, the North Pole and the South Pole, but, as of recently, there's nothing fucking melting. There's nothing melting from any of the icebergs.
Dude, you gotta wait to the new...
Truth?
Huh?
Have you ever seen the documentary?
Inconvenient Truth with Al Gore.
Inconvenient Truth?
Yeah, you gotta watch that. That's the one that Al Gore's the guy that kind of threw this idea out.
Yeah.
Which is great. You haven't seen it?
No, I haven't seen it, but I do have
It's on Netflix, I want to say. Or, yeah. Another good one is, I know Vice on Season 2, if you have HBO or not. Either way, they always throw it up on YouTube eventually. There's a good one already about, like, Hurricane Sandy, and they're talking about global warming. And there's another one now coming out where they go out to, like, Antarctica and looking at the ice melting and the crazy shit. Yeah. Again, I don't know enough to ever make a claim and say, I do for sure know. Because it feels the same to me again. I'm just barely kind of growing up. Like, I think that at 17, your world is fucking high school. Friends, whatever. You don't know what the fuck's really going on.
Nor do you care.
We are just thrown into the deep end and said, have fun, learn life. Like, I learn new shit every day. And that's what I love about the internet. And I think we're a cool age to be at. And it depends on who's listening and how old you are. But I think no matter what, if you're living right now, it's a cool age to be living in because there's information at your fingertips anytime, anywhere. Whereas in 20 years ago, you had to go to a library, you have to ask someone, you have to find a professor, you have to find a professional, whoever. Even WebMD, just learning I'm sick or this is what I've got maybe. Again, a lot of people fuck themselves up and think they have something when they don't. But it's the whole idea that, like, if you think you have something, you can most likely find out certain information right then and there. And, dude, the internet is... What the fuck? Like, who comes up with the idea of the internet? And then even then, like... It's so crazy, man. It's really just the craziest object and idea.
It is, yeah. But I feel like, I feel like it was a wrong route to take. I feel like it was right and then wrong. Yeah. I know what you're saying because it's like we've learned so much, we've benefited so much. Humanity's been, and then you watch all these technology movies and futuristic type movies and stuff, but most of them. The only thing is, eventually we're going to get to a point where. Did you ever watch the Joe Rogan Questions Everything about the robots? I did.
There's that, yeah. Like we're going to get to a point where I don't want to say Terminator style, but we'll be able to create stuff that is going to eventually learn from itself, create its own, and realize these guys are dummies. Like, what? I'm in control now. Because if we want to try to teach it to be human-like, it's going to be strong human-like. Yeah. It's not going to have certain emotions and things. It's going to be like, well, fuck these guys. Yeah. I'm smarter than them. I'm going to be alpha male. Like I'm going to be the top dog, a wolf in it. It could be a weird place. I don't know what we would create to that extent, but it's going to be a weird... Dude, we're just barely... We are so weird because they're going to talk about us in 100 years if we're even still around. That's the weirdest part is we make fucking atomic bombs and nuclear bombs and say, all right, when this could really wipe out humanity, every single human being on the earth, and we'd have to restart somehow.
That's,
well, and there's another thing too. There's
thousands of years before.
There's that place. I want to say it's in Sweden. They're trying to recreate the Big Bang or something. It's like this giant. Yeah. And they're trying to recreate the Big Bang, but they have no fucking idea what's going to happen when they say, all right, hit it. Like, and Joe Rogan has a funny, just a joke about it, that, like, every 200 or 250,000 or million years or whatever, we come up with the same idea. Let's make a thing to make the Big Bang. And we always hit the button, and it just resets. And then we 250 million years the next, now we do the same thing. All right. And we just keep resetting because we keep fucking ourselves up. But space is so damn weird. So let's keep going with chemtrails. So you think that it's to control mind-wise, or do you think it's to weaken us? To what?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And who do you think is really behind it? Do you think strictly like Delta Airlines?
No. I'd say it's people in power. If you look at it, people that are in power, you've got all the money you want in the world. You've got all the power you want in the world. What are you going to do next? There's two type of people on the earth. The good and the bad.
Believe you unless I had seen the Bohemian Grove itself. That documentary is enough to say that there are some weird things. There are some weird people. No, and to be honest, I would love to be in the Bohemian Grove. I would love to be in that club and do some shit and whatever. But I would try to do cool things for the world. Yeah, know some secrets. But it's an interesting thing. Just to realize that there, what people say, like, there really are people that meet up and do talk and do, the Bilderberg too, but there are some stuff like that. Yeah. That really does go down. It's not as silly as it sounds. Like, there really is real businessmen and corporations. I think we need to get rid of them.
You think about the newspapers or the local media, the media in general. There's who runs it? There's
the church.
One person.
KSL, dude.
The Rothschild.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's Rothschild. There's a good documentary on that. I can't remember what it's called. It's an older one, but it's very interesting about like the World Bank and the Rothschild owning England, and it's a weird situation what money is. Do you ever think we get to a point in humanity that money does not?
It's bound to happen. I think that's going to happen quicker than we know. I think the
just
U.S.
the
dollar
point, fuck
itself. Oh yeah. Well, not even fuck the currency, but fuck right now. Everything that we are doing, we are fucking doing it wrong.
Hardcore
wrong,
with the inflation, how our dollar's
I
dropping
just
in the price and what it's really worth these days.
So bad. Dude, guaranteed that, within, I'll even say a decade, just to fucking push it out a little bit further, but the U.S. currency will not be the world currency, or the U.S. dollar will not be the world currency.
What do you think would be?
They've got things coming along like Bitcoin. Bitcoin's is
Apple shut that fucking shit down, dude. I had it on my wallet or whatever it's called. It's called a Bitcoin wallet, pretty much. Because I was thinking about it, and it was like one Bitcoin is like $1,000 or something like that. It's a weird situation, but it's cool that we could possibly set up our own currency by just saying, I recognize that as wealth and money. And I'll trade you that for this many Bitcoin or this or that. And it's weird that, like, all of a sudden, I don't think anyone saw that coming. And all of a sudden, it's like,
no, yeah. It's something to back it up, though. I mean, at least we have a fucking coin to back up your $1,000. My fucking dollar bill's worth cents. You know, it's like...
No, you're right. You know? I think, and so Apple, anyways, they took it off the market, their app market and stuff like that, because there's a sticky situation.
Yeah, they're trying to boycott that shit.
Yeah,
because who wouldn't? I mean, if somebody was attacking, my
if I was in business, I don't know, it'd be sketchy. I wouldn't put all my money in Bitcoin quite yet, but I would get a few quick Bitcoin. I'd get some going on here and there just in case. Just again, the dollar goes down and Bitcoin ends up being up, and then it's worth more.
I don't even think it would end up being Bitcoin. So I think it'd be completely world currency, and I think that would fall right in order with the new world order. That's agenda.
I kind of like the new world order idea.
You do?
To an extent. Because, to be honest, we're already in it. Are you fucking kidding? Like, look at America, dude. We hop in everyone's damn party. Anyone who's fucking around, dude. I mean, we kind of respectively, England, you've got this and you've got that. But anyone who's having a pity party within each other, Africa's fighting with each other, and we haven't even jumped into there. I know I heard this morning on CNN that they're thinking about going to North Korea. The UN is talking about it right now because the UN, they found new documents and people, which has always been around, they're just finally being aware of it, is those training camps they have there that are like beating the shit out of people, killing families, like generations of families because so-and-so leaves or talks shit on Kim Jong-il or it's this and that. And anyways, so then they're now thinking about we need to get in because this is now a human rights issue and stuff like that. It's a weird thing.
I think it's a crock of shit. It's all fucking ruse, dude. That's what I think. I mean, there's no major corporate banks. Just banks in general.
Yeah.
There's always a top bank.
Have you ever seen
above Chase, above America First? But North Korea doesn't have any major banks like that. They don't have who else was there? There's 2 other countries that didn't have major banks like that either. But Iran didn't, Iraq didn't, Syria didn't, and now within the last 5 years they do now. After we went and fucking taken over. And
of course. It's because that's how
show them what's up. You know, it's like, okay. That's that. I mean, and there's no facts behind it either. So I just kind of brushed off my shoulder because I'm not going to fucking look like a Looney Tune. But I still question the fuck out of it. It looks sketchy as fuck, and I point and say, that's fucking sketchy. I wouldn't fuck with it if I had the choice,
Yeah. It's just weird, man. It's,
fuck money.
It's scary. I can kind of agree. I mean, sadly, I like freedom. Sadly, right now, it takes money to have freedom, and I love wealth or I love freedom, and so if wealth is what it is, then I love wealth. But it's a weird situation we really, really are in.
But I mean, it could be defined for anybody. I mean, on any personal level, on any society level as well. I mean, it is what we make it, and we being people, we as the people. I mean, it's not just me in Malibu, it's not just me and Christian or me and Ryan, it's a fucking city, a state, a nation. I mean, we're just individuals thinking for ourselves, but we really need to be thinking about each other and thinking for each other. Not
larger scale magnetism.
Yeah, it's
larger scale consciousness.
I mean, we're so used to being controlled right now. I mean, dude, honestly, like I said with the restart, if anything were to happen or if anything could change to make anything better, a restart would have to happen. There would be fucking chaos no matter what. People have been told what to do their whole fucking lives, and if somebody's not pointing the finger and say, pick up that shit, they're going to go fucking nuts. They're not going to know what the fuck to do with themselves.
That's a great point.
And all kinds of crazy shit, but I don't know, dude. It could go so many different ways. I'm so over analytical too, and I know Ryan can vouch for that as well, but it's difficult to comprehend what could happen with so many threats that we do have today. So many unheard of threats, unspoken threats.
There's so many. You can look into the news or look into...
And still, I always wonder, because I know what we're saying, but it's like, is it now has it always been this way, or is it just that now we're adults, like we're in this now?
See, I think it's always been this way, but like you said, at the same time, we're just now starting to realize it. We're starting to look at the world. Is it worse than it's always ever
been, or is it just that we are now? Was it this like? When I was a baby, was it always still kind of like this? There was always some stupid situation. Someone else, the Cold War. I understand little weird shit was going on, but is it just now that we not just care, because I think that we have to, but it's weird to think of that way. It's just like, is it just that it's always been this way, or is it just because now we're paying attention to it?
I think
paying attention.
Yeah, paying attention. Like my dad, whenever I try to talk to him about certain topics and whatnot, he's like, "Oh, there's always been something around. They tell you this or that, but you can't believe it all."
And that's true. I 100% believe you can't believe it all. But there are some things I like facts. I like a lot of facts. I like also knowing, and it doesn't have to be a lot of people on board, because look at the 9/11 thing. There's not that many people on board. It just really doesn't make fucking sense. And all I'm saying, it's like Noah's Ark. I'm looking at the same damn thing saying 9/11, Noah's Ark. Things aren't linking up here. I don't get it. It just doesn't make a lot of sense, and I like to ask questions. And I guess, I don't know if I want to consider it. I guess it's a truth seeker. We try to find truth. Yeah. We're seeking for what's going on. And of course, I know there's people listening right now, like these guys, they've probably potted it out, dude. They just don't understand that, like, there is some crazy shit out there, and a lot of it is true.
You just can't always believe what you see.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things, like there's
especially
many
on the
different
internet.
perspectives.
So many times you see people share shit. It's like, there's this one, even a local thing here in Utah. It's some BYU stupid guy who will write some fake shit up, and people will share it on Facebook as a real link, like so and so, whatever. Yeah, this happened, and it's like, if you look at what. Oh yeah, that's what it's called. The Bunyan.
Really?
Fuck that stupid shit. Yeah. Stupidest fucking website ever, but tons and tons of easy people read this thing and you're like, it's real. Like there was one about after the gay marriage thing happened, and I believed it for 1 second until I was looking more at the website. I'm like, what the fuck's this? Because someone posted it, and it was pretty much saying that the prophet had decided, since the gay marriage was going down here or whatever, that he had decided, we're actually going to move to Missouri.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
And people were sharing it like it was true, and I was like, inside it was like, fuck yes, I really hope so.
Yes,
I really hope so. But it wasn't at all, and I was like, but people were sharing it like it was true, and I'm saying, you guys check the website a little bit more.
Check your facts, do some more research. Don't just take it from one opinion.
And that's another thing too, is so many people I think are easily. And me, myself included. Sometimes it's just that you see this thing, you want to believe it so bad or whatever, but we don't really read the article. You don't ever whatever. It is that you need to do before.
Depends on the source too. Like with us being experienced, whatever, being able to research some things and being able to get to a good point. That I have some pretty high expectations with shit that I research as well.
Yeah,
I have to have it from multiple sources. Yeah. First off, that's like the number one thing. Like if it's not coming from a legitimate source that I've heard of personally, I always look it up on different fucking websites. I'll look it up on Fox or KSL or KUTV, or whatever, just to see their opinions, see what they had to say about it, or see what.
Yeah, it's like what you learn.
Well, you see it all the time, like within KSL, and then also like Fox 13. Totally different news as you're going to get there. I mean, KSL is it's owned by the church, and they're niching towards just good folk people. Like they'll give you some facts, and it's a great classifieds. Yeah. But other than that website is a piece of shit. Yeah. Then you go to I hardly ever check any other local news. But if you watch two news programs, totally different news is you're going to get. Though the same event happened. Oh, yeah. It's weird to think that
doesn't matter. Yeah. And it's typically, Justin Bieber or fucking any other.
Well, and that's what's stupid. That's news now. Like that's news. That's great that this one guy got pulled over. Which actually, the funny thing is reading into that, he did get arrested, but he actually was not even speeding. He wasn't even drunk driving. He wasn't even drunk. And the cop just had it out for him and saw, this would be a good way, and whatever.
Dude, what's
and
just so...
Florida. But
what's even frustrating to me about that, I could give a fuck less about Justin Bieber.
Amen.
I'm not a believer. I don't give a two motherfucks about the kid, but,
Good.
you know, the fact of the matter is the fans. These little girls, I mean, even probably some boys, or whatever, you know what I mean? But they full, I mean...
They're
Jimmy
like
Kimmel,
him.
I think it was Jimmy Kimmel walked around for his Tonight Show or whatever, asking kids or young girls. So you heard about Justin Bieber peeing on the American flag, just like these fucking outrageous shit.
Sure,
you know,
yeah.
I don't know if it's set up or fake or whatever, but I mean, I've seen these videos of these girls multiple times, but this one was just super funny because he was just blowing it fucking out of proportion, pissing on the flag or burning a fucking Bible, and they're like, no, he should be forgiven. He's just a pop star. He's just a Justin Bieber, you know. I'm like,
he's confused.
Are you fucking for real? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
What-
but if
what
it were
has
someone
happened?
else
What
that
has
isn't
happened?
famous, then, you know, they'd be getting iron hand and everything thrown down.
Well, it's like religion, too, or even politics. You see it all the time there. Like, there's this, you know, that Anthony Weiner guy, and there's all kinds of other stuff that the politicians will do that all the time. And then they, just forgive them. Yeah. Or they get taken out. But it's that, and then also religious people all the time.
And then it just blows over. Yeah. A couple weeks go by, and it's just like, who Kardashians? Oh, they came out with a new clothing line. That's
exactly.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
It's like people make mistakes.
Yeah.
By all means, people make mistakes.
Sure.
If you learn from it, then, you know, it's a mistake that's worth making. But it's people that are doing the same thing over and over again, and they're just like, oh, they'll be fine. They're just going through the stage. It's like, no, after you do it more than one time, it's a choice.
Yep.
It's a choice. You say, oh, this is bad. I understand. I recognize that this is bad. And if you learn from it, you say, oh, I shouldn't do this again. If you're just making a dumb choice, then you're going to continue to do it.
Yep.
Regardless of who you are.
It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. Blows my mind.
Celebrities are nuts.
Why don't we jump to another worry, aside from chemtrails, that's a little bit more...
Is it Fukushima?
Serious, yeah. Fukushima. Okay. And, you know...
And this is for real.
This is
for real, guaranteed, seen it, studies, everything, 100%. Even Japan's obviously admitted it. I've seen videos of them. It was a news person or something. They could only go for X amount of time, but they're like trying to think of ways. Explain what Fukushima kind of is right now.
Well, I mean, initially, even just to start out with, I had Fukushima. They had an earthquake, tsunami happen in...
That was the craziest video I've ever seen. 11th, I remember that, like seeing cars and
water
semis
and boats
and people. I was holy fucking shit. Could you imagine that happened?
I had no idea that it happened.
Oh, really?
Last year.
Holy shit!
I
Dude,
had not
the video
heard
was
about
crazy.
It. But just to give a comparison there, like why I wanted to talk about it more is because I didn't fucking hear about it till last year, but it happened in 2011.
Yeah, because it's just been like putting off.
Really? How many happened recently?
Yeah, how many people
it constantly
don't
happen?
Know? How many people don't know that it fucking happened, or even know that it's still happening as it stands, seeping into the fucking Pacific and shit? But
yeah. So, by the way, Fukushima is in Japan. It's a place. It's like a.
It's a city.
What kind of is it? A nuclear plant? What kind of? It's a weird.
It is.
Plant. What kind of plant?
It is a nuclear
I'm going to do some more research. Keep going.
It's for power. They use it for the main power source for Tokyo, but as well for any other power that comes along with that. It's a power source.
So
nuclear
it's
power
powerful because Tokyo has a lot of power.
Okay, yeah, it's nuclear. So it's a nuclear radiation disaster.
So with this, with the earthquake and the tsunami,
it's a trifecta. I mean, it's not just one disaster. It's you.
Yeah.
Have the earthquake, have the tsunami, and then on top of it, the icing on the cake, you've got these nuclear reactors that have been hit
and
in the wake.
And then leaking into the water. And the funniest thing is, no one knows how to turn off, like even here in America or anywhere. You can't turn off nuclear power.
Yeah, you don't.
No, you can't.
Like, let's fucking create these things that we could never ever... we could be dead for thousands of years and never turn off. And that's not good if it gets out.
That's where right now is we could be dead, and this thing is going to last thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to bring up too.
It's on its way here.
The cancer that you were talking about earlier in the
Good
podcast
point, yeah.
too.
Nuclear, I know.
There's been a lot of talk about, from the time that it did spill, from the time that they started the cleanup process, they predicted that within the next 2 to 3 years there will be a spike in cancer. There will be a lot more cases of cancer, whether it be any kind of cancer. I guess it could be fucking...
Yeah, like they were saying, it's gonna start with like lung and leukemia.
Yeah.
and then after time, it's going to, cancer radiation. It doesn't just happen overnight. People are turning their heads to this because they're like, oh, it's not happening right now. It's not going to affect me right now.
Yeah, no. They've found small traces already in California on the beach.
Yeah, well, that's where it's happening. You look at these, they're time lapse, and they're as the radiation is spreading throughout the ocean, and I think that's why it's becoming more recognized, is because it's been 2 or 3 years, so it's already been leaking into the Pacific.
Yep.
At 300, 400 metric tons a day.
Yeah.
They're trying to contain it in these storage.
Some of their ideas were to get a giant iceberg wall, like pull an iceberg from Alaska, like an iceberg wall, to block it for X amount of time.
See, and even at that,
that's the ideas they're coming up with at this point. Like, there's nothing
they can fucking
do.
It's a fucking iceberg wall to slow it down. That's what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
I think with the time lapse that we were looking at and the documentation that we were looking at from scientists and shit, it's like, it's too fucking late. If they even brought one in right now, that doesn't even fucking matter. Within 3 years for the time lapse from March 11th, 2011 to today, even, it's already fucking reached our beaches. It's already reached
the levels may still be low.
Sure, but as the rest catches up.
Yeah, and it's going to take thousands
look at what
of
happened
years to clean up.
What's that place in Russia?
Chernobyl.
Yeah.
See, this is... They
the fish that are glowing and shit like that, and the people that are fucked up. There's special needs people over there, and he's like, dude, and they're messed up and it's been years and years.
Yeah,
and years
it happened back in, 56?
And here's California, the most populated fucking place, and obviously people... As it starts affecting some are going to start leaving and not knowing they have it and spread it. Now, is this spreadable? Do you think, like, contagious?
See, I don't think it's contagious as in, like, if I have, and don't quote me, I'm not a scientist. Just from what I've read, I don't believe it's contagious from me to you. Like, if I come into your house, I have radiation poisoning. I
know that radiation could. Well, I know. Being around radiation, and if someone maybe who is in radiation, you have to be like in a radiation suit even. So I think it could be.
It could,
but I don't know.
It could possibly.
Yeah. I don't, because I know people for cancer they go through radiation.
Yeah.
See, and like X-rays, you have to wear the X-ray chest things when you do radiation and things.
See, but if he had cancer and if I had cancer, you probably got radiation poisoning.
Sure,
cancer.
I don't know how that all
You've
works.
Probably already been exposed. I mean, you never know where it's coming through. Your milk, your eggs. Your corn, your fucking rain that falls
the water
from
dropping from the sky.
Snow.
I mean, you think about the water cycle.
You never know.
If this radiation is as much in the Pacific Ocean as they say it is, if a lot of our storms that come over, they're going to drop rain here on the West Coast, the whole West Coast. I mean, it's going to hit everything in the Rockies, the Seattle, California.
Well, and then our lovely snow, which melts down, which comes into this river, which comes right here through every one of the cities that come through. Yeah. I don't know, man. If it ever gets bad enough, I'm really just going to take some nice cyanide or whatever, and I'm going out. Like, if it ever gets to that bad of a point, I'm weird, dude. I have a thing with animals, right? If my dog is sick as hell and can't walk anywhere and the legs stop, I'm putting my dog down because it's what the humane thing is to do. Why are we human as a species? Yes, I believe in evolution. As a species... Why don't we do that for certain people that want I mean, Oregon does it. I know you have the option. If you want to go out, then you can go out in a humane, also peaceful way. If that makes sense. So you can say,
it's like legal suicide. I've heard of that.
Yeah. And there's a great documentary called "How to Die in Oregon." It's on Netflix. Watch it. Wow. It's like 5 different people's like handy cam situations of them, healthy-ish, but just barely found out they're sick. And then you see how it just goes downhill fast. And then you're like, holy shit. Like, everyone hears cancer and things, but, maybe some of you listening have it or have known people with it. And you watch it and you're like, holy shit, man. Because that documentary is just them, like, you're still alive. Like, they're shaking, they can't move, they can't go to the bathroom, they shit themselves, they can't do anything, they're sick as fuck, they're puking,
that's the
it's
worst
everything and anything. And it's like, okay, but just hold out till your lights go out. Yeah. I'm weird, whereas I believe, it's a humane thing to do. If a horse breaks its legs, they put it down, I guess. And I'm just weird because I feel like that should be fine. That assisted suicide or yourself committing suicide, It's not. It doesn't have to be noble if you're going out because you're on drugs and so and you have a kid and you're like, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore. Pfft, go. But I'm not going to judge you because you did your own thing and maybe that's the only option you felt that you had. But if someone is sick, has cancer, and these things, I think there should be a certain section of the hospital. I mean, you know how expensive and retardedly stupid it is to go to a hospital now? Actually... I mean, Alex was on the show yesterday and he said for his baby being in the NICU, which I think is like the newborn intensive care unit, it was $10,000 for 2 days.
Yeah,
that's
ridiculous.
It was fucking pocket, dude. And that was $10,000 for 2 days for a newborn baby that's just needed to be by a heated lamp and looked at.
Just being a little.
But it was $10,000 fucking grand, and we live in a country, and I think it's absolute bullshit that people have to do that. Like we don't have just good. Healthcare, the fact of just even staying alive is not free. Like that's just not a normal thing. Just to be like, oh, you're sick, let's fix you. Let's do it. You're a piece of society. You assist. You help. Let's fix you. You need help.
That's the whole fucking reason.
Yeah.
And Canada's like that. I mean, a lot of and everyone talks shit on it, but it's just like people go broke and die, and whoever the elite people are or whatever. That's a good way to get people low, man, is just drain them like, oh, you want to stay alive? Huh, that's weird. Okay, well, pay us.
Yeah.
Pills, you need these pills to stay alive? Pay us.
Well, it's
like it's just a fucking joke.
They're creating a business.
Yeah.
They don't care about the greater good. They're how are we going to make money? It's
You're
like
right.
The pharmaceutical industry, I don't believe they create cures. They create customers.
Yeah. And a lot of them were made up. I mean, there was a good guy on Joe Rogan's thing a few weeks ago that was just talking about so many things were made up. Like, they'll make things up. Like, I kind of think ADHD or ADD is made up.
Well, did you hear about the scientist that made it? He actually, on his deathbed, there's a huge article going around right now that he is saying that ADHD isn't real.
Yeah. I don't believe it.
I created this pill to calm your children down. I mean, you look at kids, you're around kids, everything's new to them. What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? It's not that they can't just focus on one point. Everything's brand new.
And everyone's different. Yeah, exactly. Like, me as a young kid, there was other kids who were really, really smart readers. They loved books. Me, I couldn't fucking read a book for nothing. But the thing is why not just realize society has tons of different type of people, and this works best for this type of thinker. Let's put them in this class with these thinkers. Instead, we fucking mix them out, and we say, all right, have fun.
Did you kind of bring that up? Like, I can't remember what class it was or anything like that, but they have like a kinetic learner and a or like how you're like, I'm a visual learner. I have to see it and do it to be able to like, oh, I get it. Rather than there's some people who are like, they can see a problem and they learn it that way. Like, I know they have different like focuses on that, but they really need to like put that into schools and be like, okay, let's take everyone a class or a test and give them that and be like, okay, all the kids that need to be doing things and need to be moving to learn, put them in a class together, and then they're not ADHD. That's how they learn. Well, and they're just being a fucking kid. They're exploring. They're having fun. They're just trying to have a good time. They're very creative. It's like right brain, left brain. It's that whole idea. And I know I was for sure a right brain creative person, but school, I didn't understand school. But you put me in film class, fuck yeah, I'd conquer at it because I had fun with it. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I understood it, and that was my style. Whereas in math class, or history, I love history. So throw me in history, I'll fucking soak that shit in. But math, I don't know anything about math. Okay. And anyways, it's interesting because I think that they need to start structuring life in schools and things like that. But yeah, you're right. They make up false shit. Like, what is there? Right now they're pushing for low testosterone. Just, oh, you're a little tired because you worked fucking 8 hours a day? Oh, and you don't feel so manly? I understand there can be low testosterone in people's body. I get it. But they're really pushing on everyone, and even myself, then it starts to get normal people doubting, well, maybe I have low T. Maybe I am low in my testosterone. And, and some people are and some aren't. But there's just so much shit. Like, anxiety, it's a human... Everyone's got anxiety. And maybe some people experience it more than others. But... it's just weird, dude. Dude, I've been diagnosed with all that shit. With anxiety, depression, bipolar, ADHD, sleep deprivation and shit. And it's like, I was on fucking 7 different kind of pills for 4 or 5 years of my life. Yep. And then as soon as I turned 18, I went to my psychiatrist and I was like, look, dude,
I don't want to take it anymore. What do I need to do?
This
like, oh, you just had your 18th birthday. Do whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You can't. I mean, you can choose for yourself. You're an adult now. So
what have you done? I mean, so what do you believe you are some of those things? Or,
no.
Okay.
I mean, anxiety has always been an issue genetically, I guess. I mean,
I think anxiety is just everyone has anxiety.
Exactly, and that's what took me a while. That's my whole learning process through while I was taking these pills for depression, for ADHD and bipolar and anxiety. Everything that these people are telling me that I fucking have, and I believed it for such a long time that it's such a huge issue with myself that when I stopped taking it, it helped me grow and understand myself a little bit more because it had some reflection time that I could take when I wasn't feeling anything else but numb, but feeling numb is better than feeling depressed or feeling anxious or anything else like that is what I always told myself. But eventually you need to lean yourself off and fucking live your life and deal with it yourself, suck it the fuck up, and
I agree.
Suck the dick of the day.
Yep.
You gotta work sucks, fucking society sucks a lot.
But what better motivation to get out of that shit than experience it and hate it? Than fucking motivate yourself to
recognize that it's real, recognize that it's there.
Instead of being numb and just like, well, this is my life, this is what I've signed up for, and then you're way more vulnerable just to, I'm done. Let's just end it.
Yeah, and I try and talk to my mom about it all the time too. She takes the anti-anxiety meds too.
Well, a thought of it is maybe we've talked about this before, but the anxiety kind of comes from the whole Neanderthal / caveman / fucking evolution of us just being these hunters and gatherers, and we, the human body, and we're only, X amount of years from that Neanderthal person, that the evolution from then and there, they were scared because they're going out gathering and actually, have to really look for food. And that food actually may be coming at them too, like attacking them. Like saber-toothed tigers or woolly fucking mammoths. Or they have real, genuine worries and anxieties. Like, if this fire goes out, we could be fucked. If this happens, if we don't eat, if I don't get this next meal, if it keeps snowing, we're fucked. Absolutely. And then now, we're evolved to this point where now our human body doesn't have a real need for anxiety as much, that our brains just start to come up with, she doesn't like me. She hasn't texted me back in 20 minutes. Oh, fuck. She could be dead. Oh, my gosh. What if she got in a car accident? Maybe she doesn't like me. Maybe she's cheating on me. Maybe, whatever it is. You make the stupid anxiety, whereas really the real reason was just to fucking run from a saber-toothed tiger's coming after you. Yeah. But here we are now. We just, exactly. It's this, what the fuck? I mean, we're at the top of the food chain now.
Yeah, dude,
we don't realize it.
And that's my mentality too, always. I'm so, as I said, over analytical. I'm so anxious about everything. I have anxiety over the stupidest shit, but I've learned to control it myself. So my mind will be racing, running, but...
And there's cool stuff you can take for it naturally too.
Absolutely.
There's some cool stuff I take. They're like neuron blockers. That's what they're called. It's called anxiety control. You can go get it at Gooder.
I've taken it before. It's really good. It was overwhelming. For myself, it was completely different because I was like, oh man, I'm not only physically relaxed, but I am absolutely mentally just fucking relaxed. But I started even having anxiety about that. I was like, why the fuck can't I think a million miles an hour right now? I'm like, just stop. You're only going 5 miles an hour rather than 50.
You just have to figure it out. Yeah, everyone's different.
I love the way I think. I've become one with it. I'm content with it
because it's an art. Like you're your own art. Because of the way you can think, the way you can throw words together, the way you can be creative or just smart, or just the fact that you are a different type of thinker that maybe thinks maybe there are chemtrails. Yeah. Or the fact you even look at the fucking sky when not at your cell phone on the ground. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's an art in itself. There's only X amount of people in the world that probably do something like that. And you're a part of that art. It's a weird thought. All of it it's just a fucking roller coaster. But Fukushima, it's a real deal, and people need to keep an eye out for it for sure.
Just do your research on it.
Research.
It's not something that's only affecting one little part of the world like this. It's going to affect everyone.
Yeah,
imagine the sea life and
yeah. I mean, there's been cases where there's been a double-headed whale. There's been
and they're just coming out. The media is just coming out like, oh. This has nothing to do with Fukushima. This is just the first recorded one. And you start looking at it, it's like...
Just like take...
I don't believe that. Like, you can pull up and look at pictures of fruit and vegetables and farmers that are growing there. Too. You've got tomatoes that growing, 4 tomatoes combined in one, or a zucchini that looks like a cactus.
That was the other thing with the chemtrails that I didn't bring up either, but with the different chemicals and different imbalances of chemicals in the soil, just soil alone, or even water if you want to bring that into it, but farmers. Personal farmers that have their own farmland that they've paid it off and they've been running it since the fucking 50s, whatever, for generations, But now they're not able to fucking grow anything because these old seeds that they have from the last season aren't fucking working because of all these GMOs that have been put into the fucking ground from these chemtrails, or the chemicals that have been raising, whether they're coming from the fucking chemtrails or wherever the fuck they're coming from, doesn't matter, because they're having to buy
genetically modified
organisms.
Seeds. They're having to buy seeds that are genetically modified. That's what's sketchy to me, is that they're having to buy them from Monsanto or wherever the fuck the source is, and then they're going to have to plant it and grow it and then produce and sell, which is sketchy because it's all modified from whatever happened. They have to modify the seeds due to the modification of the different chemicals that are imbalanced now in the fucking soil.
That makes sense.
But even with Fukushima as well, from the rain and everything else, it could have a huge fucking impact. And, I mean...
Not could. It's going to. It's happening.
Oh, yeah. And, they're thinking...
This is reality.
They're talking about retrieving all of these rods. So they have, how much was it? 1,500 fuel rods in the fuel core.
This is just in reactor 4.
Yeah, so this is just
there's
in
6 reactors.
4. So they are extracting, so there's 6 of these motherfuckers, but they're pulling them out. They're extracting these rods one by fucking one, but when they're normally doing it, if, say, this never fucking happened, there's a robotical arm that has millimeters to fucking precise. I mean, just fucking pick it up, move it, do whatever it needs to do, but it's all robotic, computerized. Nobody fucking touches that shit. They're moving it manually with cranes.
That's crazy.
They can't see shit. It's all underwater. It's like, and if one of those fucking pins hit the other rod, they say, what do they say? The amount of radioactivity in the rods themselves is about 14,000 times greater than the Hiroshima bomb. Like, that's just perspective.
14,000 times?
14,000 times.
Like Chernobyl was bad. Chernobyl was a radiation scare way back when. The Hiroshima bomb, everybody knows about the Hiroshima bomb. They teach you about that. And you look at that and say, this is bad. And then you look at Fukushima and say, oh my gosh, like, the Hiroshima bomb is nothing.
Yeah, and this is
nothing
this
compared
is
to
a
what is
chance.
happening.
This is a chance that it could happen, but they're moving 1,500 fuel cell rods. I mean, they're just fucking 3 foot, fucking probably 6 or 7, 8 inches round that they're moving one
carefully.
by one.
And these things are
carefully. Like,
they're not solid. They're not made out of steel. Like, it's hard to break it.
Just
these things
one
that are
tiny
easily
little
could
tap,
be
dude. I
corrupted.
mean, this is something that could completely boil our fucking ocean.
Boil the ocean. I mean, they pump right now. They're pumping 300 to 400 metric tons a day of water, of groundwater, of water from the ocean, and all they're doing
has been cycled through their plant.
They're cycling it, and then all the radioactive water they're putting in these tanks, big tanks, and these tanks aren't stable. They're not welded together. They're just layers, say 2 or 3 foot layers of metal that are bolted together and held together with rubber. I mean, in Fukushima is a little bit on a uphill, and these tanks that they're putting all the water into is, they say it's only going to last 5 years. A tank can only last 5 years. I mean, we're already we're already 3 years into it. So these tanks, they're already breaking, and that water that they're trying to contain is just being leaked right back to the ocean. So I mean, it's just this ongoing cycle of radiation just being poisoned.
As it stands now, I mean, they say that the estimated time for cleanup is 40 years. So that's including
40
the past
to 100
years. 40 to 100 years. But, I mean, if it keeps consistently going with the Pacific Ocean the way that it goes, so here's Fukushima on the left side, and you have the Pacific Ocean, and then you have our west coast. It's just a circle,
It's just going with the underwater currents.
Yeah, the underwater current always just circulates and circulates and circulates. It's just a fucking nightmare. I mean, it'll reach us, but then it's going to circle back to Fukushima and just keep going back and around and around. The idea of fucking cleaning something like that up, I mean, you think about how far away...
Well, think of the oil spills. It takes them forever. Yeah. That's just a little oil spill.
Yeah.
And look how much damage is caused. And that's just an oil spill. Just a little one in a little cove in Florida.
Exactly.
And you're talking California, the most populated fucking place where a lot of, that's so much money.
A lot of West Coast too, though.
Not just
you're right.
It's hitting Alaska, it's hitting Canada. It's hitting up
Hawaii,
there. The whole Pacific Ocean.
Fuck, dude.
Whole Pacific Ocean. I mean,
so what do you think? Say it hits it, right? Let's just talk worst comes to worst right now. It hits up California. It hits all these places for real, really damaging. A lot of people are getting really sick. A lot of people are getting really cancer. People are starting to move and migrate this way. All of a sudden, Utah starts getting really flooded with people. I mean, we're talking 30 million just live in LA.
Yeah.
That's just 30 fucking million. You know how many people live in Utah? 2 million.
2 million, yeah.
You know what? I was talking to him about it today. And
think of that.
Some of the shit that runs through my mind, and like, I know you guys know I'm a huge conspiracy theorist as it is, so my mind
me
just
too.
runs through all these different ideas or thoughts what could happen, but one that came across my mind today was the FEMA camps and shit that I've been hearing so fucking much about, but haven't seen any progress with. But there's a lot of skepticism on it. But I know they're fucking there. FEMA's a fucking real thing.
Yeah, I know. They were there for. There was also it was
Sandy. They were there for Sandy.
Sandy. What was the other one?
Disasters and shit.
I know they just ordered a shit ton of coffins.
Oh yeah, coffins
the big black
guillotines
coffins
as well. Guillotines.
Those. Wait, guillotines? What do you mean? Like head chopping things?
Yeah, like guillotines. Like,
are you fucking kidding? What?
You can look that shit up too. Stockpiling on guillotines, yeah, dude.
And FEMA makes it as this ruse hey, there's a natural disaster.
What would we need that for? I don't get it.
That's what it is. It's like, there's a natural disaster. Here's a safe haven. Yeah. And you go to it thinking I'm going to be safe, but when you look into it, it's things like the big black coffins or how the barbed wire fences face in, and it's more so like a prison, not necessarily a retreat camp to come keep you safe.
Go take a shower.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
sounds really familiar.
It's all about fucking population control, dude. And I feel like, I mean, that's, 1 out of 10 kids has autism now. I feel like our fucking reproductive system, reproductive organs is weakened. I don't feel like it's as powerful. Well, yours not? No.
My reproductive organs are perfect.
Your what?
My reproductive
organs. Okay. I'm not saying. Wait, so
no, I'm not pregnant. I'm saying.
I know. What are you trying to say?
It's like, hey, Christian.
Are there? Wait, is this the black coffins you're talking about?
Those are the black coffins. Yeah, they're like just like a little fucking.
What the fuck? Where did you see the guillotines, or where are you?
Images.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google images in FEMA. I'm seeing things about it. Like, did you ever see an image of one?
Yeah, I read an article about it. Type in, the images, these black ones that you're seeing right here are the ones that I saw in the fucking article. Up. Yeah, those ones right there. Yeah.
Well, that actually is new.
Yeah, that looks real fancy.
The fuck is that?
Yeah, they're not fucking around, dude. They're buying billions of rounds of ammo, billions of dollars of fucking assault rifles.
And while they're doing this, they're trying to take ours away.
Yeah.
That's a whole other topic. Them trying to take our guns away. You look at history. Hitler.
You're 100% right.
Tried to took all their guns away. King Jong or whatever. Over in China, he took all their guns away, and that's what it is. Take the power away from the people so they can't uprise against you.
Just way too much sketchy shit happens behind the fucking...
It's as you get into one conspiracy, it stems off into another.
Dude,
it stems off into
you're
another. You're
telling me, man. This is, the fuck is this? No, dude, that's some weird shit. Like, that's a... For sure, that's... Why does it say Chanel on it? That's pretty weird.
It's the brand.
No, but I guess next is gonna be Prada, and you just choose.
Chop your head off. Dude.
That is some weird shit, and I don't know if it's sometimes like they're just planning in case worse comes to worse. There's a weird situation where they feel like, I'm not saying zombies that they need to chop heads off, and it's the only way to stop a zombie, but that is fucking. I don't know. It's hard because I kind of want to look into it and believe it more, and wonder why would the FEMA need a guillotine. Because, full on, that is a new type of guillotine. It's not a wood one. That's it's made out of metal. It's welded. It's a legit, that's...
Mm-hmm.
But
these are stockpiled, too. It's not like they're just buying 1,000. They're buying tens of thousands of these for whatever fucking reason. Nobody really fucking knows. And,
Yeah.
You know,
Another
when you find out, I'm sure you'll be looking right up at it.
Well, that is an interesting thing, and those coffin things or whatever. That's an interesting thing too.
Yeah.
I have no. I don't feel bad.
I couldn't even really fathom the idea of what they want. I mean, I guess you could. I mean, there's, when you think about it, you just look at the fucking material objects that you have in front of you, and what the fuck do you think about?
Yeah,
seeing
what
a
are they
guillotine
using this for?
And hundreds of thousands of fucking coffins. Why the fuck?
What does this say right here? Gestapo, which is the pretty much the secret police in Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
It says a group answered to the SS, which is controlling the populace and crushing the political opposition. What does it say? Opposition
Opposition, yeah.
Through their fear and violence. Los Angeles. Yeah, dude, it is getting weird. Maybe it's just me, and we're again, it comes down to that point of maybe we're just finally paying attention. But I've noticed, there's Egypt, then there's Syria, then there's this, and everyone's like revolting and going against their governments and stuff. And I know that not Utah, just fucking the United States is classic for shit talking. But when it comes down to the real deal and actually going up to have a rally or actually doing anything about it, we sit behind the computer. Oh, how did it go, guys?
Yeah.
Did anyone go?
Exactly.
40 people showed. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
and that's it. Like everyone's just classic for fucking not actually making and taking action.
I'm guilty of it, dude.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
And I don't know why it is that, because I think that honestly, if we were all stand up and say fuck this shit. And maybe even certain states are like, you know what, fuck this, we're done. We're gonna figure this out.
I know that
it's not gotten that bad, but if it were to ever going to, how would that work, man?
Dude? But it has gotten that bad, but not on our side of it. It's that bad where we should be fucking rioting in the streets. I mean, these people all around the fucking world, in Syria or
you're
fucking
right.
Egypt and everything. I mean, these people are rioting over the same exact shit, if not even less harsh than what the fuck we're going through with our government, and we're just idly standing
afraid. I think it comes down to fear. Like our government has kept us in such fear that we're like, if we rise up against them, then
I feel like
they're gonna kill us.
I feel like God has such a fucking stronghold on it too. I feel like politics and God, you can't look at them different anymore, and it pisses me off. I fucking hate that politics and religion, even at that, not even just God. It's as a higher being. It's always going to intertwine with each other, which fucking blows. Whether it's Christianity or Muslim,
you're right.
Especially,
now. I would love nothing more than an atheist president. One that doesn't go on anyone's sides. Is not really. He's just using his head. I'm doing my job.
Mm-hmm. What's best for the masses?
Exactly, for humanity, for people. Oh, that's cool, you're Christian, that's great. Oh, you don't use birth control, that's fine. But for the rest of the fuckers who do, have at it.
Yeah.
Like, abortion. You're not happy a guy raped you? Have at it. Do whatever you gotta do. That's how I am. And we live in such a silly state that I don't... it pisses me off. I got my haircut done today by a cool family member, and she's such a kick-ass person. It's hard to find people that you can really talk to around Utah, like we are. Like, just maybe, and again, maybe a part of it is just the whole cell phone thing that no one wants to have a conversation anymore. No one, maybe there are tons of people, but I've just never talked to them. But it's just this is such a weird. You're fine. Just a fucking weird place to live at. Because it's really 50-50. 50% are Mormon, 50% are not. And we're still run by it
anymore, dude.
I agree.
It's like 58%. I was actually reading it today. Like 58% of Utah
are
believe in Mormon.
Or believe in Mormon.
Like follow it.
See, I don't know how they count it. Because the church comes out and says that there's 13 million members, though there was a study done, or like a whatever, and there's how many people? I don't want to fuck it up. I want to say less than 5 million who are actually active. Less than 5 million for sure.
Well, they count all the people that have left the church but haven't had their... I think they
names removed. That's what I'm saying. If you leave a church, get your names removed because they still count you.
I think they still do count you even though they removed.
Well, they count the dead people too. That's the silliest part.
They count the dead people that
we got Adam Frank and we have Gandhi and we have Adolf Hitler and we have Elvis Presley and...
Because they're dead and we chose that they were
dead. But it's like...
Baptism for
do they have any say in it? It's...
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll count them. I don't know, man.
I've done the baptisms for the dead too, and I thought about it when I was probably like 16, maybe 15 or something. I probably shouldn't have fucking been there with the shit that I was doing so
Sure.
bad.
But if you think about it now, what the fuck does it matter?
Yeah, I was thinking about,
Superstition
why the
shit.
fuck am I baptizing somebody for the dead? This isn't their choice. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
well,
not their choice at
the
all.
only thing that I told myself was like, maybe it's just like so they have the choice, I guess, if it were to be true. That was my okay, this is okay to do. But I just felt so fucking awkward the whole time sitting in that pool. Like, it was just
I know what you're saying, yeah.
super just weird. And it was with my dad too, and like it was supposed to be like an awesome moment because it was our first time and shit, and I'm like, I don't fucking like this.
Yeah.
It's just not
I agree, dude.
comfortable.
It's that place, if only people really knew. I don't care what anyone says, that church is a cult. Most churches are cults. If they use tactic and money and business, exactly. That's all it is. People don't see it for what it is, and it annoys me because
they believe what they're told.
Yeah.
So many people look into this, believe this, don't look
Dude, I'm having
anywhere
deja
else.
vu really bad right now.
Me too.
I swear
I thought I did it for a second.
dude, that's
That's
weird.
fucking
Maybe, I know we talk about this shit a lot, but like, that was weird.
Yeah.
And you had never even been here, but I've had this moment, this exact conversation
That's crazy.
with this, and I was even looking at it. Fucking weird. Anyways, what is deja vu? That is a weird thing. Why do we experience it? How can we do a replay of something that's never?
I think that's your REM sleep, dude.
So yeah,
I really do.
I think you create.
So what do you mean?
You create everything in your life. Your vibration. You set out your frequency.
I agree with that. Law of attraction, or just attracting and creating life.
See, and I think within your dreams, when you fall into the dream state, that you can see.
In past days, I've maybe experienced or had a glimpse of this moment. Mm-hmm. Could we? Could be
Connectedness,
or sometimes maybe just being that perfect vibration of like, boom, this is exactly where you're supposed to be.
All right, you've set yourself.
Like it's just like this. You're hit. Yep. These are the exact people you're supposed to hang out with. You're supposed to be here right now. Everything's good. Okay, see you. And just like you had it, like that was weird. All right.
Reminds you of that you're in the now.
Yeah. No. It's such
I find myself having deja vu a lot, and I mean these are
good.
dreams that I've had for years. And like I went to South America. When I was
You've been to South America?
15 years old.
I didn't know
for
that.
a humanitarian mission, and the hotel that we stayed in was really, really old. A Spaniard hotel. I don't remember the name of it or anything like that, but I mean the glass art and everything else like that. Like I mean,
it was
down to
old
the
school.
T. Dude. I mean, 2 years prior to that, I think it was, because I remember sketching so much about it because, like, everything in the bedrooms, how shitty the wallpaper was, and how crappy the beds were, and everything else. I remember walking, and that's when it hit me, deja vu. And from then on out, dude, I've really constantly had a lot of experiences with deja vu, like with me in Malibu, meeting at
that's awesome, dude.
at party at the party. But it's just a trip, dude. Like it's crazy. I completely agree that I feel like we make up our own futures for ourselves. Whether you believe it or not. I think that you send that shit out vibrantly.
Yeah, I think we're a lot stronger than we think we are.
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah, we are. It's cool, but I just wish we could grasp it more or learn to finally tune it to a T.
See, and I think we've been taken away from it. Jumping back to technology and how far we've advanced from technology. You read about the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Egyptians. They did these amazing things without the technology that we have today. So maybe they were more connected.
Do you ever watch Ancient Aliens?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What the fuck? I mean, not only is there's that Mayan, there's a Stegosaurus, and there's another one with the Velociraptor. And I've talked about this on other episodes. I know I bring this shit up all the time, but like on their temples in Mayan, on Mayan temples, and there's other ones in, this place and that place, and there's fucking dinosaurs on them, but like, they're not out there fucking digging for dinosaur bones like we are and putting them together, and that's what it looked like, and it had an eye here, and it's pretty fucking weird, man. And then also just so many of the same characteristics, like in Babylon, and then one over here and over here, of the same pictures,
in the world,
seas apart. And I understand, at one point we were there, but I don't think at the point that they were there, because they always talk about crossing seas and getting spices and herbs and ice cream from China or wherever it is. These ideas, and there's all of the same fucking
the same shit, dude.
I don't want to say. And it kind of brings me up to Prometheus in a way that, I don't believe it to a T, but I'm saying that whole idea that maybe we had not creators in the sense of God and he loved us and here he is and, he did this miracle and this. It more of just like there's got to be life on other planets, and that the other, again, they were more in tune, they were more on their level, they were more, again, yeah, they did sacrifices, they did some weird, crazy shit. What we find weird and crazy, who knows? Maybe, and I know I'm going out there, but what if the government is finding in tune into this and saying, oh, well, the Mayans and these guys did this and sacrifices, boom, FEMA comes around. Maybe secretly we're having sacrifices to get back at this and they're aliens. Again, that's crazy, talking fucking out of my ass.
Wow.
But I'm saying there's some weird shit out there with ancient aliens and even building the buildings like I don't want to say Machu Picchu, but we can't even reconstruct a lot of the buildings that they made with diamond fucking cutters and things. Like, you can't stick a blade of grass through it, but ours you can see light through. It's like, what the fuck? And these guys did it how many years ago? I mean, Easter Island. What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, no doubt.
Egyptians that they drew in the pyramids and carved and stuff, but there was no light.
Or their monoliths. And you look at their monoliths and how big those are, and you take our best Traco today.
Yeah.
And it would take, 140, 250,
the closest thing we have is the Luxor, dude.
Yeah. It would take all this equipment to lift it up, and these people are doing it with their hands. Thousands of people are lifting this monolith, and
how many years, or if at all,
solid piece of brick.
And even though, the quarries are miles and miles and miles and miles away, like hundreds of miles away from the middle of the sand pit where in Cairo.
Dude, I think that's where it all started, dude. I believe
Egypt is the shit.
Egypt,
I loved
the
Egypt.
Mayans, China, everywhere. They all have somewhat of the same fucking hieroglyphics. What it is.
And I wouldn't doubt that we've had, maybe back then, there's two things. They knew how we would act and where we were going, because maybe they've been through it.
Message.
And that, and also just that, like, they know that we're not going to sit here, that realistic, most normal people aren't going to say, oh yeah, aliens? Yeah. Well, these guys, they came to visit us, they taught the Mayans all this cool stuff, then they blasted off. There was an Atlantis place here once, and that's gone. And, And who's going to believe it? So we'll hang out with you. We'll talk with you guys. We'll help your society be cool. These fuckers, thousands of years ahead, they're gonna think they know it all, but they're silly. And anyways, we'll help you guys, because who realistically is, besides most open-minded people, are really gonna believe, hey, the Mayan shit's actually going on, and they actually had extraterrestrial type visitors who were thousands and billions and millions of years ahead of us. Who, of whatever, and maybe they put us here as a petri dish and said, have fun. Here's some African Americans, here's white, here's some, Asian, here's Mexican, here's whatever. It's all a little petri dish. It's like their UN of planets, and like, okay, let's have fun. This seems like a good life form, good thing. Yeah, got water, got everything to survive.
One person off.
And then evolution began. Who knows? But again, the silliest part with all of the God stuff anyways is just, if most religious people believe God is God, and he's the all-knowing and everything, then who's God's God? And then who's God's God? And who put God in charge to be in charge of our world? And then by then, who's that God's God? And then God's God. And then it doesn't make any sense. It makes no fucking sense.
There could be multiple different realities to it as well. God could have been in our situation while his God was testing him, and then he dies and is like, okay, you're my God. You're the next God. Here's your little place set. Make as many planets as you want. You can take this corner or this little space of space.
Exactly what you're saying is what the Mormons believe, to a T. Yeah. That's the craziest part, is like,
it's stupid.
Yeah. It's just, it's crazy, dude. Yeah. Everything's crazy about it. And I'm not, I don't know. I don't believe in God in the sense of a beard and a man in the sky, and here's Hurricane Sandy, and pray to me because I just killed your entire family, wiped out your house, your insurance, all your money, all those belongings. Yeah, fuck it. But, pray to me. Oh, dear God, please help us fix this. But you're the one who just did this. But, yeah. And then Jesus was sent on a suicide mission by himself, but technically he was God, so he sent himself down to kill himself, and he was talking to himself, and then...
You know what I want to know about Jesus, dude? I want to know about Jesus in his teenage days. The days that you don't really...
They always skip that part. But the funny thing is, like, I don't know how real it is, because look at Horus. Jump to Horus. I think it's just that, this is a good story. I like this. Well, let me just change it up, because no one's ever going to fucking know, and I'm going to be dead by then. There is this Jesus guy. He had 12 guys, kind of like that Horus guy, and then, miracles, and died. I think they just changed it up, because there's so many... it's not just him, it's Mithra, and then Noah has a copycat, too. I mean, Noah is a copycat, and then so is Moses is a copycat, and they're similar names. It's similar stories. All they do is change it from pagan stuff.
It's just so fake for thousands and thousands, millennia. Like for years this shit's been going on.
They're just trying to do the exact same thing we're doing. They look up at the sky. Again, they don't have light pollution. They just look up. They're sitting there with their families and eating their food that they just killed that night under a fire. Half Neanderthal ape or whatever the fuck it is, and then looking up at the sky and saying, what the fuck is that? There's a good theory too, the stoned ape theory, where apes, the Neanderthals, that whole cross revolution, like the apes, and they picked up mushrooms one day and started eating mushrooms, and they're like, oh shit, what? Because they started eating things. I mean, that's how you have to learn. I mean, and they're just like, oh whoa, I can do things differently. And like, have you ever seen there's a good scene. It's the opening scene of 2001: A Space Odyssey, where he picks up the bone and he just starts like hitting the bone. He's like, "What the fuck?" And then he realizes this is a weapon, and starts hitting the other apes. And the others like, "What the fuck?" And they kill off the other tribe, all with the bones. And that's all it is. Is evolution. It's just one day, maybe it was a mushroom. He picked up bones that we can wipe out these fuckers who keep taking our food. Let's go. Yeah, that's what it is. It's all about your habitats and adapting to it and evolution.
That movie was so fucking frustrating to me.
It's still this day. There's a good video on YouTube that tries to explain like the last 10 minutes of it. It's similar to Love. Have you ever seen Angels and Airways Love? Yeah. It's almost similar to Love now that I think about it. Like the whole the room and showing up in the space pod. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's very similar to Love. But yeah.
Like that movie too,
yeah, it's an interesting dude. I love Love.
Yeah, it's good. It's a trip. I don't know.
But here's the deal. I'm not going to pretend that I know anything. I'm just a fucking ape who thinks he knows some shit. Another funny... Joe Rogan was talking about this on his podcast the other night, that he was bringing up why... when we look at a dog and you see a dog and their behavior, some of them can be changed and they can be trained tricks and shit. But you don't expect a dog to not be a dog. Like, a dog's going to be a dog. I don't expect it to be a cat and start meowing and to change, because it is what it is. And here's humans... he was talking about this, like, why we try to change so much people's perceptions and their things, or how they act, or they treat people and the shit. But really, maybe we need to stop changing people and just realize people are just fucking people. Like, that's their species. That's what they are. That's what they do. That some are assholes and some are bitches and some are cool guys and are positive and try to do fun stuff. But everyone's just doing their own thing, and that each one of them have a part in their life, because maybe I'm an asshole and I say, I don't ever want to fucking be like you, dude. And then I change my life and be good, and then maybe one day he meets someone who's even a more asshole, and he's like, well, okay, I'm going to back off my asshole. And it's just a weird thought that we're constantly evolving, especially, it's the second, like, think about it now. How old are you, Zach? You're 24
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Look back at you were 18, right? Like, do you ever stop and think, like, what the fuck was I doing? Or why did I go do that? Or why would I even date so-and-so? Or why did I ever try that? Or hang out with so-and-so? Or why did I go to this place? Or why did I waste so much money on this shit? Or this job? Or this time? Or, like, you look back and you're like, you think you know everything. Like, you really do. You're like, Mom, Dad, fuck you. You don't know shit. Like, let me tell you how it is. And your parents are sitting there like, Jesus, I know what you're going through, because I've been there too. But have fun. But it's all about evolving too.
Yeah, my theory about that shit, it's a never-ending cycle, dude. With parents and kids, your kids will do the same shit. You'll be like,
that's why I don't want to have kids sometimes, dude, because I don't want to do that.
Yeah, see, but I mean,
and I don't want to worry about my kid. I don't want to imagine like now I can finally realize, like, my parents staying up till 12 o'clock at night. Like, where the fuck's my kid?
Yeah,
like they care about you, because, and it's weird once you get to that age, especially like marriage or just a little older. You're just like, you look back and you're like, now I know why my dad would do those things, or he would say those things, or he was actually watching out for me, because I try to do it for my brother now. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You're fucking up your life. Don't hang out with so-and-so. They're pieces of shit. Don't do this. But you're like, fuck you, Dad. You don't know anything.
You don't know my life.
They're my friends.
And the poor guy, the thing is you think they don't love you. You're like, they fucking hate me. They're out to ruin my life. But it's the exact opposite. Like, they do love you. They're just trying to find the best way to connect with some fucking wire in your head, saying, stop fucking up. You're hurting us. You're killing us. You're making us sad. You're making us... we think, oh, you just think we make you look bad. But it's like, no, I just don't want a piece of my property, my life.
Your little kids.
I've invested so much money into you. Remember T-ball and this shit and how many hours they spent. I mean, my dog, I've only had for X amount of months. But if my dog could start talking, start sassing to me, and start being a dick to me, I'm like, but why? I loved you when we were just a little baby, and I took care of you, and it's such a weird thing that I wish. And it's all part of it. It's all part of that evolution, and I know it's got to happen. But that really scares me of having kids because I don't want to do that.
I'm not so nervous anymore. Dude, and I think about it a lot too. Having kids, I want kids someday soon.
For sure, yeah.
And I don't know. I'd be so open with them that but I can never really. I can say that I hope that they would come talk to me like, oh, someone offered me ecstasy or pot today at school, and it's like, okay, I've done that before. I can fucking definitely run you through that experience. Yeah. It was awesome, but it fucking...
Well, let's do it together. Yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
Let's just head down to the basement, But, explain what happened to myself, explain the outcomes that could happen, that will indefinitely happen with hard drugs and shit.
And maybe I'm more scared just because I grew up with very Mormon parents, whereas it was my dad, he did admit that he had smoked pot, but he left it at that. Pot, I didn't understand what pot was. When my dad told me pot, I thought it was something you put in a metal pot. Like my dad was like, yeah, I used to smoke pot. And I'm a young kid, like, the fuck? Why would you smoke a pot? The hell are you talking about? And then, and you realize that they are similar to you, and they did do the same shit we did, and they talked about the same stuff. But growing up, I'm excited because I'm not going to raise my kids religious. If they want to, sure, have at it. I'm not going to fight you. Yeah. But I'm going to make sure that you're aware that you are a truth seeker. You try to find out the farthest and biggest truth. Is this true, what this is going on? Look at the facts, look at the whole situation, whatever. Don't just do it because your friends are in it, they're social. Do it because you know it's true and it makes you happier and a better person and all this shit. But it's going to be a different parenting situation for my parents to me. Like, I will talk openly with that stuff and tell you, let me tell you why, and let me tell you what here's your mom's experience. And my parents just, shut up. What is that word? I don't know what that is. What are you talking about? Sex? Masturbation? My dad told me, the funniest part was, like, I never knew what masturbation was until, well, my dad would always say, and years before I even knew what masturbation was, he would say, don't play with yourself in the shower. Don't play with yourself. And I thought that washing myself, with a soap bar, was playing with myself. So when he would say that, I thought that, I'm like, I'm playing with myself. Like, oh shit. And I felt bad just that the fact I even took a soap bar and washed myself. Yeah. And then I figured it out. I was like, oh, okay. That's what he meant. But it's the greatest fucking thing ever, because otherwise I'm going to be this ornery ass. I'm going to be this testosterone-filled dick teenager, or I can just chill out for a little bit. And it's all part of evolution too, man. If you don't fucking jack off, you are you are a mean piece of shit. And anyone who says they don't, they're full of shit. Girls, that's probably true. Most girls don't. Yeah. I can't say that. A lot of the people I've met, girl-wise, have just never been open about talking about it, or just have never thought about even trying to touch themselves. Does that make sense? Weird. Whereas in guys, it's just like, fuck yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah.
20 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. So that's cool. That's cool. I'm excited to finish this book, Sex at Dawn. I'll throw this a shout out to anyone else who's listening, because I'm going to give a review on it eventually here soon. But this is, it's by Christopher Ryan. He's on, I heard about it on Joe Rogan's podcast because he was on the show. And it's Sex at Dawn. It's a best New York Times bestseller, and it's pretty much just about, the cover says how we mate, why we stray, and what it means for modern relationships. And it goes back into Neanderthals and our evolution of why hunters and gatherers and people, that women were stronger than men because the women would go out and get the fruits and vegetables and the things every day, whereas men would go out once or twice a month for the big hunt. And you guys, we would rely on the women a lot more because they had constantly the food. They had the power. Whereas it switched slowly over time when we decided, oh yeah, money. See this piece of paper? Haha, I mean more. And they're like, oh fuck. And then now until recently, men always would get paid more than women, which is stupid. But it's that whole kind of trying to make up for that in a weird way. And then it's just all about relationships, that it's okay for you to look at another human being and say, she's fine, she's sexy, or he's attractive. And but it's just when you act on it and certain things that we feel bad and guilty, though at the end of the day, really we're a fucking species. If you see a dog and then you see another dog, and my dog humps this one dog, and then you see my dog go and hump the other dog, we think nothing of it. It's like, haha, it's fucking, stop it, knock it off. But you don't think anything of it, maybe he has a relationship in love with him, and we're humans, and maybe they think that way. I don't know. I'm not a dog, but I'm saying like we get way deep into this situation where marriage, and I love my wife, and I want to be true. I'm 100% true to her, and that's just how it is. But the way society's came to this point that this ring and that just doing this ceremony will mean something to us, and that we're just going to companion it out. I think it's the best way to go, because it'll get too. I mean, imagine us right now if we just like a ward or a stake or 300 people, right? And you don't get married, and everyone's fucking everyone and everyone. I mean, obviously STDs and lots of other things will come into play, but just it's a free for all. It's going to go back to the gorilla type.
Yeah, and I've always said that too. It's like if everybody could just have sex with who the fuck ever they want. I don't think that there would really be. I think that would be some weird, twisted form of peace, if you will. I mean, there's no fucking no strings attached, if you will. You just have sex with whoever, whenever, what the fuck ever. It would be a completely different mindset in society, in the fucking world. Like,
yeah, you're right.
I mean, I feel like that's a major root with dominance, especially in girl. I mean, I feel like everybody should be completely fucking equal.
I agree, especially in a marriage and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll have to let you know how this book is and how it goes and stuff. It's going to be, I don't know, but it's really, a lot of it's just scientific and talking about that, like why we mate, why we stray sometimes from mates, why people get divorces. A recent good friend, I won't talk about it. We'll talk about it after the podcast for a sec, but that's it, pretty much. I mean, do you guys have any other shout-outs or things you want to talk about really quick?
No. That's it. Shout out to my boo.
Malibu. Malibu's always so happy to be on the show. No, we for sure we should talk about getting you set up. Do you want to do like a YouTube page channel or like a blog or both?
I don't know. I was thinking. I don't know. I don't know.
She's doing
that's the best way to do.
She wants to sell her clothes on Instagram. Well,
like your personal clothes in your closet type thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just have a lot of clothes, so he wants me to sell my clothes.
Well, yeah, that too. But I mean, like, it's like an exchange. Fucking sell your jeans that you haven't worn in a month and go buy a new pair of jeans.
That's a really smart idea.
But as well, he wanted to do the makeup channel.
I think that would be great. Yeah. I've seen, there's tons and tons of people who follow something like that.
I'm so intrigued by that. I always go on YouTube and I'm just like, oh, how can I do my makeup? But then I look at it and I'm like, I'm so much different. Like, they have a different complexion than myself. And like, I don't know, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm so professional. And I'm just like, no, I'm a normal person. I just want to do my makeup how I think it'll look good. And if other people think it looks good,
and try everything. And
tips from me.
I think that's good. So and you're finding a little hobby, a little blog, and it's easy to do. I'll give you some websites or some things to check out that can kind of get you started or flowing or get your... just at least creative and getting some ideas going, and then we'll have to sit down and plan it out, or I can show you some cool stuff. It's easier than most people think. Yeah. Video-wise, very easy. I mean, anyone can do that on YouTube. It's just all about making it look professional. And better than some that hold the cell phone camera, and it's just like, you're done, gone, see ya.
It was the other day when you were, I think it was for the Salt City Float Spa. You were like on Facebook, you're like, oh, ask questions. I had a question, I just did not know how to even like phrase it.
Do you remember it?
I still can't phrase it very well. Like, it's just,
what's
like,
it?
how do you, like, advertise, I guess is the word. Like, how do you get out there, like, say, hey, check this out. To get people? Yeah.
Like, and that's word of mouth is the biggest thing. Don't do Facebook ads. I'd say, well, and that's the thing is that you think you don't, and you may have your bubble this big, but that's the best part is you now have to expand out. So you have to meet people. You have to go out and meet other girls or message other blogs or clothing companies or whatever it is, or makeup companies, and say, hey, look, I'm doing this and this. I'd love to review and talk about your product. That's another thing to do and start. Because you can get free shit, and then you can start to grow, and you can get some cool stuff, and it's because you're just saying, hey, I love your product. Like, Your Tea sent me a free box of Man Tea. It's like a $50 thing, but they sent me and said, I just said, hey, companies, surprisingly, big or small, love hearing that you like their products. And if you do, most of the time, they'll send you some free stuff or a coupon or whatever, or a thank you, or anyways. But if you take the time, they're going to take the time to make sure that people like you. Customer satisfaction is what builds a business, flat out. That's what we have to do with stickers. Mikkel's now with normal sticker orders. She's every month there's going to be like mustaches for March.
Don't say that.
Just kidding. But she's going to start giving some free stickers away with other orders. And Mikkel, why?
Because I don't want
Anyways, so she's gonna give out some cool stuff. What? Don't shut up. Anyways, guys. No, there's tons of ways to build marketing, and you just have to find people and meet people, and also find people that have a lot of friends that are cool, that will share it. It's hard. I mean, I'm more than happy to. I know Mikkel would be more than happy to.
Come talk to me, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
sounds
So,
good.
yeah, Mikkel can tell you all about it. I mean, and that's the thing is, if you can have instead of just getting more likes, if you have real potential viewers, customers, people that actually like your stuff. Like this podcast started out, and I'd only have like 30 people listen. I'd have like 40 plays. Now we're at whatever many plays, but you obviously, some of your first stuff are going to be lower. But the more you do it, the better you get, and the better people realize it, and obviously more credibility built to you. Like a company, if I say, hey, I've got a company, it's a t-shirt company, here's 2 t-shirts, shoes, or, every week we release a t-shirt, and now I have 20, 30 t-shirts, a lot more credibility because it's like, oh, okay, many options, looks like he has a few reviews now, he's doing good, making some money. You have to start from somewhere. Yeah, but you've got to start, and that's the best part is you find your little hobby, do it. If you love it, it's very easy to do, and if it makes you happy, don't worry about the money, don't worry about the thoughts or where it will come, it just will. With the sponsorships from this podcast or fun things. I just did this podcast because I like having a fucking conversation. Get away from technology other than this computer, and let's just talk about some deep shit. Let's actually meet each other for the first time. I probably know you better than maybe some of your closest friends. Not closest friends, but close friends that you've spent time with. But it's just kind of the shoot the shit, texting. Oh, let's go to this gas station, hang out. We're hanging out with this girl, and then it ends there. I got to learn I got to learn you were smart. I got to learn that you actually know your shit, that you are not skeptical, but you are open-minded about shit. And I got to know that you're single. I got to know that, by the way, shout out, hit up this man. But just things like that. You just got to, I learned a lot about you, but we've only been hanging out for a couple hours.
I mean, but that's how you're going to learn about someone. You have to sit down and just...
Exactly.
Like you said, get away from the technology.
And most people don't want to do that anymore. Even if it's a coffee, it's a coffee shop with Wi-Fi everywhere. It's like, oh, okay, this is what we're going to do? It's like, let's just sit down and chill. People are weird. Sometimes when people come into my house, I like to come have a seat on my couch. Let's just talk. Yeah. Fuck, dude, we don't have to do anything. I hate people that get bored by... Yeah, if you get bored with yourself, what does it say about yourself? And if you get bored with 2 other friends, what does that really say about the 3 of you?
Yeah,
fucking have a conversation.
One of my English teachers in high school, she was my favorite English teacher. I can't remember her name. But she used to say, if you say that you're bored, then, that's your state of being. You are being a boring person.
Does it mean life's boring? Does it mean your whatever? It means your view of what you are doing now is boring.
Yeah.
You have to fix it. You have to change it. You have to read. You have to walk. You have to go somewhere. You have to text someone, call someone, say, hey, I'm coming over right now. We're going somewhere.
Realize that, hey, I'm being boring.
Yeah.
I'm bored because I'm being boring.
Exactly. Yep. I loved that. I was like, ooh.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Or I'm happy because I choose to be happy. You certain things in life are going to affect you differently, but ultimately... you choose how you're going to react with life. Mm-hmm. And
I love what you were saying earlier, that you create life. Yeah. You're 100%. I've always said that. And I'm glad that other people are seeing that. And here's the thing. I don't care what you believe or what you are. That's the truth. That's truth. You create your own life. If I take meth today and I divorce Mikkel and I, whatever it is, and I go and do all these things that make me feel sad, bored, depressed, have anxiety all the time, then I created that. I can't blame that on Zach. Well, Zach told me this once, and so it's Zach's fault that he told me that. That, and a beautiful part of it is also just becoming not self-recognized, but what is it when you what is it called? You just responsible. No, you're just responsible. You become responsible for your actions and your words and your thoughts, and you take responsibility for not only the bad things but the good things. If you can take responsibility for both, then who's in charge? You're fucking in charge, because it's I'm responsible for this. I made this happen, but I made it happen. Meaning, whether it was a good thing or was a bad thing, I still made it happen. And the more you take responsibility, obviously, the better things you'll be more proud of, instead of so-and-so, and then someone else takes credit, or, you know, you don't give yourself enough credit. It's like, fuck yeah, I did that. I made this podcast. Yeah, I spent hundreds of dollars already, or it was this, that, but I fucking did it, and it made me happy, and it changed someone's life, and you got a tattoo because I got a tattoo. Like, as weird as that is, that's a weird fucking connection, dude. Yeah. I came into Maverick one day, and I knew you because of Maverick. My brain just connected the two, and then the fact that I had a tattoo, and then you saw it. I mean, I literally, in some shift in shape, changed your life to the point where you marked yourself for the rest of your life with something similar you saw in someone else. And people don't realize, like, a smile to someone else randomly, maybe you're sitting there at the red light, you look over, that weird awkward second, but you don't have to make it awkward. You just smile and just a quick nod or a wave, and then you're back at it. But that can make someone else at the next stoplight, like, hey, wave, smile, okay, something different. Or you pay for someone's food, or you fucking give a bigger tip, or you don't know what you're doing. Or in people, you know, again, I never knew you were watching me in my ear, and or whatever it was that I didn't know that happened, and you fucking. But you know, again, I don't know if I were to take negative actions. Maybe a lot of it could be Facebook, could be a video, could be good shit, it could be bad shit. I could be mean to someone, and someone else could see, why does he treat so and so like that? And then he goes home and has a similar situation, and he takes it out on that person, like I did, because he had just recently seen that. Or vice versa. Oh, I heard about Zach and Christian and Ryan and Malibu. We're all talking about this one subject about life. Whereas in, you know, like my actions, people really do see it, and you don't realize it at the time. But people are changing their physical lives because of a certain situation, and I like that. So I'm going to change my day, or I'm going to change tomorrow, or I'm going to start reading that. I'm going to read that book, and maybe that book wakes him up out of a shitty relationship, and he's like, "Fuck this, I'm out. I want to go have fun." Or I'm going to go get in a better relationship for someone who respects me, or whatever it is. And maybe I saved his life, because maybe if he would have stuck with it, he could have committed suicide. And, you know, again, I'm going fucking, it's like a spider web. It can go a million directions. But the point is, speak up, be yourself, and don't be a cunt. Yep. That's it, man. Yeah. Just fucking be happy.
Good. And you'll pass it on. I mean, there's someone...
Pay it forward. That's a good movie. If no one's ever seen it, go see it.
Oh my gosh, that movie made me cry.
Yeah. I fucking love it. So anyways, that's it. I mean, do you guys have anything else? Obviously, shout out to Malibu. Ryan, what's your last name, by the way? Do you have and if you guys have Instagram, Twitters, or whatever, you're more than happy to throw them out if you want.
We'll just stick with the name.
Okay, so it's Ryan
Alexander.
Ryan Alexander. That's such a badass name. Two first names. Most badass name.
And then obviously Zach Feston. You can hit me up on Instagram or Facebook.
Is it just Zach Feston?
Yeah, Zach Feston, ZACFESTIN.
Yes.
So hit it up.
And you have a Twitter
also, yeah. So I mean, I don't.
Is your Twitter the same thing?
Yeah, same thing. Just Zach Feston. I don't hop on Twitter too much.
You should start Pinterest up.
I do have Pinterest.
Okay, then make certain boards and really niche it, and then we'll talk in a minute. We'll talk all about it, because Mikkel can tell you, like, there's an easy way to get a lot of people by contributing on boards. Anyways.
And yours?
Mine?
Yep, your Twitter and Insta.
I really have to look it up, honestly, because I don't remember.
Hers is Malibu Star, but it's with 3 R's.
The funny thing is, I love it's like, no, I'm not a porn star. Because it's like, that's such a porn name. Like,
well, because that's my actual name.
I know, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So I'm like, no, I'm not a porn star. Because I've had that. Like, when I first started up Twitter, like, I had a whole bunch of random, creepy, like, no joke. And I was just like, hey, I'm not a porn star. I'm not going to be posting nudes.
That's
and then
awesome.
I got, like, lost so many followers.
That's so
that's
funny.
Okay.
Yep, but MALIBUSTARRR.
Yep.
Is it. Malibu Star.
The star spelled, is that normal?
Yes.
No, it's normally spelled STAR.
Oh, okay.
But, like, everybody likes to use fake names. And so
I think I want to legally change my name. On LegalZoom, you can change your name. And I don't like Christian, because I'm not Christian anymore. I want to, like, have a contest and have people just, like, submit all these funny names, and I'll just pick the best one. I was like, yeah.
This one wins.
I think Chavez would be.
Chavez Stevens. Yeah. Chavez. I just happened to grow a mustache. I'm thinking that, like, I could not wear a mustache.
But you have to, like, dye it black. I have to be, like, a huge black mustache.
And I have to change my voice on people. My name is Chavez.
Yeah, that's perfect, isn't it?
Chavez, man. That's too funny. I don't know. I'll think about it. It's probably not worth it. I've thought about going by my middle name, Nicholas, but I hate Nick. Like, just... It's so weird because... And I don't really care. I think it's funny. I think, honestly, it brings humor to it, because if I ever started my comedy... it'll just be good because I'm Christian, but I'm not a Christian, and it's just.
Oh,
I
get that now.
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
were saying,
yeah.
my name's Christian, but I'm not.
I used to tell
actually
people I was
Christian.
Jewish, and they didn't realize it. Yeah. So, anyways, that's it, guys. Anything else?
Research.
Yes.
Any good websites to throw out or documentary? What was What's that one chemtrail documentary?
The chemtrail documentary, dude. There's why in the world are they spraying, and what in the world are they spraying?
Okay, there you go.
Why in the world goes through obviously the whys. And
I need to watch them. I have not watched them. I'll watch them.
They're good. They're both on YouTube. You can just type it in there, and I'm sure just add full episode, or if it's in.
Yeah. Joe Rogan questions everything. There's a good one on that, and a lot of other ones that are fantastic on YouTube.
Is there a way that we can?
Another one about the climate change. Oh yeah, I'll throw some links up right now. The climate change one. What was it called? The Inconvenient Truth.
Inconvenient Truth.
I want to say it's on Netflix. Check it out. Look at that tiny
I
thing.
can't remember if it is or not.
Google
Back in
knows.
stock.
They just hit listen, dude.
Every time I go on that website, they're not in stock, and I'm so sad.
Yeah,
I
apparently
wanna
they're back in
try
stock.
it.
Let's see if this is true.
We are back in stock. We just got some.
28 day, 55. Yeah, they're back in stock.
Oh, your tea.
Yeah.
Do you want me to just email this to you?
What are you saying? Sorry, we're getting some links, guys. Just tune in. Just listen here for a second while I hurry and put some links up. In fact, no, I'm just going to cancel it out, and then I'll put some links up in our comments below the podcast on Spreaker. So if you're listening on iTunes, by the way, subscribe on iTunes. If you have an iPhone, subscribe on iTunes, rate it, give us a good positive review. I don't know if it helps. I really don't know. I don't check. I probably should. Yeah. Anyways, but Spreaker.com. If you go to walkingamongapes.com, that will take you straight to our main hub, which is where we roll out of, which you can listen to live and comment. Shout out to Casey Chong. Thanks for fucking listening. This guy's a badass. He's been commenting and talking to me a lot lately, and he's been giving tons and tons of good, positive feedback. And I just want to give a shout out to you. And I am aware of you, and I do know that you exist. That's all. Anything else, guys? Is that it?
We love you.
Yeah, that's
We
it.
all love you.
Spread
all.
the love.
Spread it.
All right. Take care.
Bye.